He cleared the most impossible game in human history, but the price for that win was brutal. His body gave out, getting erased from reality. Waking up, the nightmare was just kicking off, and that's where it gets crazy. He respawned in a world where the tower is real, tossed right at the bottom like some random newbie. The universe handed him the ultimate cheat code, hitting a 100% success rate on any upgrade. Trash drops became weapons forged to take down gods. Upon awakening, the hybrid Demon King class, those stats shattered the logic of the entire system. Wanna see him wipe the floor with the elite? Drop a like and subscribe. Everything kicks off with a massive live stream of the Tower of God's Supreme Tournament, where player Subai is trading blows with the final boss of floor 999. In the chat, some random guy tells another to zip it so they don't break God Subai's focus, smashing the keyboard and mouse with zero mercy. The MC's hands move at physics-defying speeds. The crowd huddles behind him, super nervous, until someone shouts the good news. The boss's health just dropped to a mere 10%. On screen, the avatar is giving the big bad a beatdown, making damage numbers rain everywhere. Zooming in on the clash, the character, a white-haired warrior, takes him on in a pure one-on-one. This demon boss, refusing to take the L, glares at the player and drops that classic villain line, "You really think you can handle me, punk?" Without missing a beat, the character replies that if the gods step in, he'll wipe the floor with them too. And today, the boss is going down. Blade in hand, the avatar charges up that final strike, glowing like he dumped all his mana into one skill. That hit was so cracked, it took the big boss out for good. Cheering wildly, the crowd loses their minds, yelling that someone finally cleared floor 999. Subai stands up with his fist in the air, feeling like the absolute MVP, thinking he's built different and the only one who can wipe the whole tower. But out of nowhere, his victory smile turns into the face of a guy who just stubbed his toe on a table. We see the MC's silhouette flying backward like he just took a massive punch. Slumping into his chair all twisted, he writhes in pain while his friends rush over to see what happened, clueless as to why the gaming god is crashing hard. As the PC screen cracks with a victory message, someone screams in a panic to call 911. Amidst the chaos, the crew can't believe the guy just clocked out of the blue. One of them points out the tragic irony of beating the game and his own life at the same time. Subai's consciousness floats in a digital limbo, hearing the boss's laugh. He's super confused, wondering if he just bit the dust and what on earth is at the end of this tower. Cutting to a woman teaching the class. She explains that the Tower of God spawned on Earth 10 years ago and flipped the whole world upside down, throwing humanity into an era of superpowers. She keeps rambling, saying the world now has monsters, demons, you name it. But despite the danger, the tower hands out top-tier loot, and humans have already climbed 99 floors. The lore explains that thanks to tower items, humanity leveled up big time in a short span. Tech took a massive leap. She asks the room if they're ready to face the Tower of God or if they're gonna chicken out. With a dumbfounded look on his face, the MC just sits there, while another student gets all hyped up. Suddenly, he's bewildered, looking around and thinking, wait, didn't I just game over? Next to him, some buff dude yells that he wants an SS rank crystal to become an absolute beast in combat. A skinny kid roasts the big guy, telling him to chill because in 10 years only 10 of those crystals ever showed up. The guy claps back that dreaming is free, while the MC just sits there, frying his brain over this whole tower thing. Everyone is buzzing with hype. One already picked a class, another dreams of being elite, and a third points out you can only change classes at level 10. As the backstory reveals, the country is the Yan Nation, and getting into the tower is no joke. You gotta be an adult and pass a training course. A light bulb goes off in the MC's head and he thinks, hold up, isn't this that game I was addicted to? He starts connecting the dots about the classes and crystals. Looking at the scoreboard saying the highest reach is 499, he realizes he might have transmigrated into a world where the tower is real, but everyone is kinda noob. Our guy gets all smug, figuring that if he cleared floor 999 in the game, he's gonna be a total god here. The teacher tells everyone to quiet down because the moment of truth is here. She warns them to mentally prepare to receive their teleportation crystal. The teacher hands a glowing pebble to a student and tells him to crush the thing. The kid, super pumped, grips the crystal and shouts for the tower to get ready for him. Chuckling, she wishes him good luck, while another student celebrates holding the crystal like it's the World Cup trophy. Subai stares at his crystal and tells the tower to bring it on. He vows that this time he's reaching the top no matter what. Gripping hard, the MC's hand crushes the blue crystal, turning it to dust. Inside a digital space, a welcome message pops up, but then the system throws an error, saying there's already a registered account. The MC thinks, oh snap, if my old account works, I'm set for life. Sadly for our gamer, a giant deleting data warning shows up. The system says compatibility failed and wipes everything, leaving the kid salty because he lost his progress. The system then reboots everything and drops him in the beginner city. The MC recognizes the spot instantly. It's where noobs buy their first rags. Out of nowhere, an unread message notifies notification pings. The MC finds it weird, wondering who would text him at a time like this. Reading the message, it talks about the reward for clearing floor 999, a supreme item called the Clock of All Things. Our boy almost has a heart attack out of sheer joy seeing he scored a supreme item. He's dying to know what this clock actually does. As the lore explains, items have rarity colors. White is trash, gray is mid, then green, blue, purple, and orange, which is legendary. The item window shows that the Clock of All Things has no level requirement, and the effect is simple: upgrade. It says it upgrades anything with a 100% success rate, but it costs a little fee. Back in the city, the MC finds the description kinda vague, and since he has zero gear, he decides to walk around and check out the town. He follows the smell of booze to the tavern, wondering if the owner still remembers him. The system drops a notification that the Yan Nation gets a 10% stat buff. Some big-eyed girl mentions the drink is great for boosting HP, while a drunk guy brags he's climbing the tower today. Standing outside, our MC wonders if the buff is from the clock, but realizes this little push is going to be essential so he doesn't get bodied right away. All of a sudden, the clock pings, detecting items to upgrade: his short sword and cloth shirt, both white and painfully trash. Curious, the MC stares at the floating screen, wondering if he can actually buff these items that feel like they're made of cardboard. The display shows the sword can gain points in every single stat. The kid freaks out with joy seeing the success rate is 100%, meaning there's zero chance of failing. With greedy stars in his eyes, he's already picturing turning this noob set into divine armor. His smirk screams that he's about to break the system. Except, right then, the system hits him with insufficient funds. The MC freezes, remembering he's completely broke. Stepping into the bar, he decides his top priority is making bank. After all, in this world, cash is king. The shot shows the Tower of God, a massive structure piercing the clouds, covered in floating rings, looking totally otherworldly. We see the players in the starting zone, where they only get 7 days of protection. The lore warns that if you don't change classes in a week, you're out. Showcasing the pure panic, players are begging for class crystals. People are literally on their knees crying that they don't want to get kicked out. Inside the packed tavern, the MC walks up to the bartender and turns on the salesman charm, says he's got some cocktail recipes to trade. The owner, a blonde elf, gives him a "who is this clown" look and asks if she heard that right. He confirms it and offers the recipe for a rare beast blood wine. She doubts him, but acting all cocky, he asks for a pen. Handing over the pen, she warns him that if it's a scam, she'll smash his head in. The MC, cool as a cucumber, guarantees it's the real deal. Without wasting time, he jots down the recipe and drops the price tag: 5 gold coins, non-negotiable. The owner agrees, but threatens him again, saying she'll test it, and if it's garbage, he ain't leaving alive. The MC just says, "Relax." Flashing a sly look, he thinks to himself that this recipe is child's play, and he knows way better ones. 5 minutes later, the elf is staring at the red glass, looking like she just witnessed a miracle. She says the drink is pure beauty. Already hyping it up, the crowd starts bidding on the drink, offering copper scraps. The MC just watches, grinning from ear to ear. The owner smacks the table hard, telling everyone to shut it, announcing that the glass belongs to her. Without a second thought, she downs the glass in one gulp, Viking style. Leaning on the counter, the curious MC asks, "So, is it approved?" The elf licks her lips, loving it, and asks how many recipes he's got, saying she'll buy the whole batch. Our guy flashes that deal-sealed smirk, saying he has 5. He offers a buddy discount for 20 gold for all of them. She digs his vibe and says she likes his style. She tosses the money bag right into his hand. The lore explains the currency: 1 gold equals 100 silver, which equals 10,000 copper. The MC grips the cash super stoked, figuring 20 gold is plenty to start playing around with the clock upgrades. As a nice bonus, the owner hands him a free dagger so he doesn't leave empty-handed. He's caught off guard by the quality gift. Popping up on screen, the window shows the dagger is green, high quality, and packs some solid damage for a beginner. He thanks her and says he's got stuff to do. She yells out that if he gets more recipes, he better bring them to her. Waving over his shoulder, he tells her she can count on it. The elf watches him walk away and mutters that the kid's a smooth talker. Outside the tavern, the MC draws his new dagger and decides it's time to spend. Step 1 is buffing this blade. The screen shows the upgrade will grant some monster stats, but it takes 10 hours, unless he drops 720 silver to make it instant. He thinks it's pricey, but time is money, and he needs to get strong fast so he doesn't get booted from the tower. In a close-up, his finger smashes the confirm button with zero hesitation. The system chimes in that the cash was spent and the upgrade was a hit. The dagger is now glowing brighter than neon. With a juiced-up weapon in hand, the MC feels like Rambo himself, figuring clearing floor 1 is going to be a walk in the park. Facing the tower, he wields the dagger and shouts that it's showtime. The scene shifts to some players fighting over scraps. One screams that the rabbit is his, races, looking like a total playground brawl. 3 grown dudes surround a tiny rabbit, and one of them announces he's having rabbit for dinner tonight. Walking up judging them, the MC asks why it takes so many people to kill such a dumb critter. He strolls off into the forest, dropping the fact that rabbits give 0 XP. A nerdy girl stares at him, shocked by his guts. Panicking, she screams for the crazy guy not to go there, warning him it's a danger zone. The MC glances back, completely missing what all the drama is about. In the blink of an eye, the absolute madman steps on some creature's tail. He wanders into the brush, completely blind to the giant snake slithering around. The level 1 wind serpent lunges from the trees, trying to bite his head off. Screaming her lungs out, the girl warns him it's a wind serpent, fully expecting him to drop dead. Our guy grips his dagger and thinks with pure disgust, that's it, barely even a warm-up. With a ninja-like move, he thrusts the blade and slices off 25 damage from the snake. The other players are left with their jaws on the floor, clueless as to how he killed the beast so fast. One of them points out it happened in a flash, running over with her friends. The girl asks how he pulled that off. The MC, playing humble, says it was nothing, just a light tap. Glasses girl gets all worried and warns Subai to stay sharp, because if the wind serpent lands a crit, it's instant game over. Her friend agrees, reminding them their gear is trash, and if they get wiped, they're done for. Moving swiftly, the MC tosses a copper coin into the air, looking cool as hell. He thanks her for the heads up and flicks the coin to her, telling her to take it and stay safe. Right after that, he turns his back and walks off. Watching Subai bounce, the girl thinks he's insane, while her friend, laughing hard, complains they helped the dude just to get the cold shoulder, betting he won't last 5 minutes. As he heads deeper into the forest, the MC figures that player traffic is way lower outside the safe zone, just like he thought. Out of the blue, a giant black snake with red eyes lunges from the shadows, out for blood. The MC raises his dagger's blade to dive straight into the fight. Agile like a cat, he lands a solid hit on the snake, dealing another 25 damage. After the strike, the snake turns into dark dust and drops a copper coin, which the MC catches midair. He looks at the coin and sees it's exactly like the Tower of Gods game, but thinks leveling up this way is slower than dial-up internet. Right then, multiple glowing-eyed black snakes spawn from the trees, completely surrounding the MC. Not even flinching, the kid faces the swarm with a mocking grin, draws his dagger and challenges them to a brawl, saying he'll give them exactly what they're asking for. In a flash, the MC dashes forward, unleashing a flurry of strikes, slicing up every snake in his path at an absurd speed. A notification pops up on screen announcing the 10th season has started. All beginner zone records just reset, and there's crazy luxury loot for anyone who beats the pioneers. Deep in the woods, the MC grips his dagger super hyped, thinking that since the season kicked off, he's got to speedrun his level ups. Flashing a confident smile, he realizes that with the divine clock of all things item, nobody is stealing his first blood rewards. Out in an open area, players chat about the new season, trying to guess who will snag the first clear, but one guy says it doesn't matter for irrelevant noobs like them. 3 players are talking and one claims the East Region prize is going to one of the 3 big rich families. Another agrees, mentioning he saw the Lin family daughter flexing a full legendary set. The dude points out her outfit costs millions and she even rolls with high-level bodyguards. Glasses girl and her friends accept reality, saying that ain't their problem, and go back to hunting rabbits, patting each other on the back near a dead critter. Back to the brawl. The MC spins his dagger and slices 3 snakes at once in a master stroke. Having dispatched the monsters, he lands firmly on the ground. Suddenly, an energy aura wraps around the MC and the system congratulates him for hitting level 2, making him the 83rd in the region to pull it off, rewarding him with a dark iron chest and 2 stat points. The kid celebrates, stoked to finally level up and score a reward chest, thinking this whole setup is awesome, but the hype doesn't last, because he checks the leaderboards and is stunned by how many people are already level 2. Noticing the rank 1 player is almost at 3, he realizes he wasted time studying the clock, but swears this lead is just temporary and he'll be the one having the last laugh. The MC reaches out in front of the chest, ready to open it, super curious about what's inside that dark iron chest. Popping the lid, he gets a basic cloth armor and 30 coins. Genuinely surprised he managed to score some gear too. A screen pops up asking the player to pick what he wants to upgrade. Holding the dagger in one hand and the armor in the other, he ponders what to focus on, concluding that since early bosses hit weak, it's better to dump everything into attack. The system shows it's upgrading the refined dagger and asks him to select the quantity, capping out at 8 times. Our guy's finger smashes the confirm button on the virtual screen. A prompt asks if he wants to confirm the upgrade, warning it'll cost 50 copper coins. System chimes in with congrats, announcing the upgrade worked, and he now holds a refined dagger +1. Thinking fast, the kid decides to just go for the max upgrade all at once. He calculates it's gonna cost a fortune, but decides he can afford it. The screen confirms 7 upgrades will cost 9 silver and some change. Without flinching, the MC hits confirm. He smirks holding the blade as the system processes it all, shooting light rays everywhere. Announcing total success, the system congratulates the kid on his brand new refined dagger +8. The status window reveals the dagger has turned into a killing machine, with physical and magic attack stats sky high and a speed bonus. Analyzing the glowing weapon, the MC notes that only the first upgrade tweaks the base stats, the rest is pure raw damage. Out in the forest, he slashes the air leaving a yellow trail of light testing his new toy. Satisfied, he sees his total attack is near 100. Even as a common weapon, it's rivaling rare gear, proving his clock is way too OP. With a mischievous grin, he declares it's time to raid the first floor and dashes off, telling the boss to get ready to meet its maker. Lore states the boss only spawns 10 times a day, and the one who kills it gains tower access. Competition is fierce and only the fast secure a spot. The MC stops in a rocky clearing, feeling like he found the perfect spot. Suddenly, he hears the sounds of a brawl happening nearby. Getting worried, he wonders if someone arrived first and picks up the pace, yelling that he won't let anyone steal his kill. The fight is intense, with a group of adventurers clashing against goblins. One screams to kill them while another begs for help, because mobs are spawning from the ground. Hiding behind a rock, the MC watches the skirmish, and is blown away by how much money these guys have. Noticing their gear is strictly top tier, but Lin Yu-chan girl shows up and the MC's jaw drops at her rare set, making his +8 dagger look like a butter knife. She orders the squad to regroup and hand out potions quick, with one of her lackeys confirming the command. Leading the charge, the crew pushes forward out for blood, screaming to attack. A blonde guy next to Lin remarks that at this pace they'll hit the first floor in no time. But Lin stays serious, warning him not to sleep on the other rich families because the competition is coming in hot. Quickly, she notices something feels off. At the sound of a rustle, the pink-haired girl snaps around and demands to know who's hiding in the bushes. Stepping onto the rock, the MC drops a casual hi. The blonde guy immediately calls him a level 2 noob and asks what team he belongs to. The kid answers that he's a lone wolf, telling them to keep fighting because he's just passing through. Lin Yu-chan glares at him suspicious, saying it took them half an hour to cross the forest with a fully geared squad, calling BS on him being alone. Tossing out a good luck, the MC tries to slide out quietly, waving as he backs away. The blonde guy points at him screaming it's a trap, accusing the MC of trying to use them as bait to steal the boss. Getting pissed, the girl orders her squad to stop healing and focus on the MC, commanding them to take him down by force. She refuses to let anyone snatch her first clear from right under her nose. From a top-down view, we see Lin's squad closing in while the MC just stands there. The kid grips his dagger, complaining this is so annoying, not getting why they dragged him into their mess. Sporting a villainous smirk, the blonde guy mocks him, asking how a noob dares to resist. He tells them to finish the boy fast, so the boss lady doesn't miss her chance. The goons obey and charge, but the MC just smiles and says he'll play along for a bit. An arrow tears through the air right at the MC, who preps his dagger for impact. With a ninja reflex, he dodges not 1, but 2 arrows shot his way. Holding her crossbow, the pink-haired girl is stunned, clueless as to how he blocked that. 2 goons rush him with swords raised, yelling to finish the job. Smirking slightly, the MC mockingly wonders if that's all they bring to the table. In an acrobatic leap, he flips over the enemies, slashing them on the way down. The warriors are terrified by his speed and let out a scream like they just saw a ghost. That blonde guy watches the whole thing with his jaw unhinged, screaming there's no way this is real. Panic spreads fast. One of them yells that the noob dropped everyone and calls for a retreat. Standing tall and cocky, the MC admits they're tough for noobs, but warns them that taking him down is going to take way more work. He dashes in and strikes 3 enemies at once, landing absurd crits that chunk their health bars. With several guys floored, a surviving goon complains about the damage while the rest scream in panic to run away. Furious, the blonde kid points at the MC and tells him to back down, asking if he even knows who he's messing with. Glaring back coldly, the kid replies he couldn't care less about their status and warns that if they block his path, they're gonna get hurt. The guy is left speechless, stuttering from pure rage. Out of nowhere, the pink-haired girl yells, telling this Zhangfei guy to shut his trap. He runs over to her, calling her miss, while the MC just stands back and watches the drama. Stepping up with a serious face, Pinky proposes they make a deal. Still holding his dagger, the MC faces the group with a smirk, repeating he doesn't care who they are, and that getting in his way is asking for trouble. In the clearing, he looks at the girl and her downed goons, showing some interest and telling her to spit it out. Internally, the girl analyzes the MC, realizing that reaching this spot solo and fighting like a demon means he's built different. She extends her hand, saying that since they already threw hands they might as well get acquainted, and asks him to name his price. The blonde guy complains, outraged. They're giving a solo player the time of day, but she tells him to shut it and asks if he can guarantee the mission's success if things go south. Turning away, the MC says he'll let it slide, promising not to attack anymore, but in exchange he wants a protection fee of 1 silver per head, calling it a fair price. Blondie loses his mind and yells, asking if the kid is crazy or hit his head. The MC stares at the group and says that's the price for their lives, asking if there's a problem. The girl tells Zhang Fei to shut up again. She tosses 3 gold coins to the boy, saying the change is a token of friendship, and suggests they add each other. The MC, acting like a total mercenary, says adding him costs another gold. Shocked by the audacity, the blonde guy glares, but the lady just agrees and hands over 1 more coin. Zhang Fei accuses the MC of daylight robbery, but the girl ignores him and proposes Subai team up with them to hunt the boss and grab the first clear together. Thinking it over, our boy realizes this first clear must be worth a ton to these guys. He replies he's down, but has one condition. The girl, intrigued, asks what it is. Hand extended, the MC drops the bomb. He wants to call the shots for the whole group. The goons are floored. Zhang Fei yells that the MC is tripping and asks if he really thinks he has the right to lead the Lin family's elite. He gives it to them straight. Either they follow his lead to take down the boss or forget it, because he doesn't want anyone messing up his run. Blondie tries to sway his boss, saying the MC is a total stranger and can't be trusted, but the lady decides to let the kid do his own thing, just without giving him the commander role. Wasting no time, the kid drops an "alright then" later, turns around and tells him to count him out. But as he walks away, Lin calls him back and asks if he wants to reconsider, offering 100 gold coins. Already leaving, the MC replies that the first clear reward is worth way more than her pocket change and tells her not to waste his time. Zhang Fei starts mocking him, saying the kid is dreaming big, thinking he can solo a world boss, and Lin Yuchan agrees, saying even she can't guarantee a win, let alone a solo player. Cut to the MC, who's just chilling on a rock down by the river. With a little smirk, he opens the menu and figures that since he's got cash in his pocket, it's time to tune up the gear he snagged earlier. The screen shows the common armor is at level 2, but to skip the 10-hour wait, the system charges a mere 1,650 silver coins. Since patience isn't exactly his strong suit, the MC decides to skip the wait and hits the button to spend the cash. Eyes closed, the kid sees the purchase confirmation and feels the power surge, with his strength, agility, physique, and spirit instantly spiking. Now with his armor maxed out, the MC opens his stats, seeing his HP crossed 300, which makes him way more confident about tanking the boss. Back at the tavern, players are chatting about how the rookies are going full throttle, and one guesses the first clear is about to drop. Wiping down a glass, the bartender wonders if the Yan Kingdom has any shot at claiming the Tower of God record this year. A customer complains that last year they got completely bodied by some monster from the Pharaoh's kingdom, and wonders when an SS rank will finally spawn in their lands. The MC blitzes past some goblins, thinking he's got a race against the clock to secure that first clear. Hitting the brakes at the cave entrance, the kid is shocked to see someone beat him to the punch. He strokes his chin, takes a sniff of the air, and recognizes the smell of stealth powder. System lore explains this powder hides a user's scent, but it only works on weak mobs and is totally useless against strong beasts. Realizing it's a cheat version of the powder, the kid notes there are too many rich players in this game, guessing that stuff costs a fortune. Inside, a squad is putting the beat down on some goblins while a giant orc boss watches from his throne, and the MC just stays hidden taking notes. Sneaking past the mobs, he thinks he lucked out. The boss is still chilling, otherwise he'd have to wait an hour for a respawn. One of the guys from the Revel squad spots the MC and asks his boss, Wang, if they should block the kid. Playing it cool, Wang Zishi, some rich kid from a famous clan, replies not to worry about it, since the boy is rolling solo. On the flip side, Li Yuran, another snobby heir, calls the MC crazy for trying to snatch what's theirs. Two players are completely mind-blown when they see the MC is about to pull the boss all by himself. The giant orc just watches our boy, who instantly leaps forward. Eyes glowing with rage, the monster lets out an angry roar, revealing a dagger buried in his chest. The system flags the beast as the Goblin King, and the MC, back-turned, calls the big guy out for a one-on-one. From a distance, a goon asks Wang if they should jump in and steal the kill. Wang, acting all arrogant, says the MC is gonna get flattened in seconds, and the girl next to him agrees, calling the kid suicidal. Looking even more savage now, the Goblin King attacks with a roar, saying he didn't expect to see the kid again. The boss opens his mouth full of rotten teeth to scream, but the MC doesn't even blink, telling the beast to stop barking and accept that today is his funeral. Using lightning step, he lands a hit that shaves off 100 health from the monster. The kid's foot slides across the dirt, kicking up dust with the sheer style of the move. Feeling that blow, the Goblin King drops to his knees while the MC preps his blade for round 2. The boss tries to crush the boy with a club, but the MC dodges easily and even roasts him, calling him slow. With an upward slash, the kid lands a beautiful 100 damage crit, tearing through the beast's chest. Staying focused, he remembers the Goblin King's weak points are the chest, back, and eyes. In pure disbelief, Wang's squad watches, with a goon pointing out the kid is dodging everything and the white-haired woman saying this is impossible. Wang asks this Sixie girl what's going on, and she thinks to herself how the kid fights so well and only lands crits. Shocked, Zixi reflects that this kind of fighting skill is something even pros struggle to master. While the brawl rages on, a lackey asks if they should just finish the kid off. Leader Wang flashes a grin and tells them to hold up, explaining the MC won't be able to one-shot the boss. He says to wait for the perfect moment to strike when the kid is worn out. Mid-fight, the MC jumps at the Goblin King's neck, yelling he's gonna chop him up like veggies. The monster shrieks in some weird language, eyes glowing red. Our guy doesn't back down, saying screaming won't save anyone, and warns he's slicing the beast's kidneys, taking another 100 health with a crit. Then the Goblin King roars that he's killing our MC right now. The beast glows bright and roars loud, putting the MC on high alert for what's next. Seeing the boss's little show, the MC gets serious and suspects he's calling in his mob. And that's where it gets crazy. The monster keeps yelling, and out of nowhere, Wang's crew finds themselves swarmed by a goblin army. Freaking out, one of the guys panics, screaming how all these mobs spawned if they already cleared the zone. With wide eyes, Zixi shouts that the boss summoned his personal guard. Wang tries to keep his cool and orders everyone to form an attack line to carve a path out by force. Amidst the chaos, one screams to listen to Zixi, another yells to hold the line, turning into a total mess. Holding her bow, Zixi doesn't know what to do and blames the bastard MC for this goblin rain. Surrounded, Wang barks at the squad to focus and punch a hole through that wall of enemies. From above, you can see they're stranded. One of them yells "Roger that," and another tells Zixi to hang tough. Two members fight side by side, one swearing they'll make it out and the other screaming for Wang not to give up. Wang figures there's still time, fully believing the MC lacks the damage to finish the boss, and that his scroll will secure the win. Looking back, the MC realizes they were planning to steal the kill at the very end. He notices Wang brought a pricey magic scroll and points out the perks of being rich, while the playboy challenges the kid axe in hand. Sporting a psycho face, Wang pops the scroll and screams for the kid to become barbecue right alongside the boss. The scroll glows and unleashes the fire explosion technique, a mid-level magic spell. Exploding massively, the blast consumes everything, kicking up smoke and tossing rocks everywhere. Zixi Trier's laughing and the lackeys start hyping up their leader, thinking they took the W. But staring into the flames, the leader notices something is off and wonders why the system hasn't pinged. And no one saw that coming. The system broadcasts to everyone that the Goblin King got wiped by player Subai. The squad is left in shock, with Zixi refusing to believe Subai came out on top. As the smoke clears, there stands the MC, Subai, right on top of the boss's corpse, making Wang scream in pure rage. His face twisted in anger, Wang questions how the hell the kid managed to land the last hit. Subai turns around calling them idiots, explaining he stacked damage on the beast's weak spot and wiped the last 5% in one strike. Internally, the MC admits he could have killed the beast earlier, but waited for the rich kid to burn his expensive scroll just to troll him. Facing Lang, he says he just wanted to teach these arrogant nobles a lesson, waves goodbye, and tells him to enjoy the respawn timer. That same notification about Subai killing the boss pops up back at the Pack Tavern. Going completely wild, the crowd loses it, with the bartender asking who this Subai is, and some guy guessing he's from a noble family. An elf points out it's the first time the big family's lost, and a dude suggests the kid must belong to some OP secret clan. Over in another corner, a group debates if it's that orphan Subai they know, but the guy doubts it, thinking it's impossible. Pink Hair and her squad also see the alert, and she starts stuttering, completely in disbelief. Dead serious, she orders everyone to rush to the rendezvous point, and the subordinates obey instantly. Wang is about to explode with rage, grinding his teeth and calling Subai every name in the book. His crew regroups looking kinda lost, and the leader announces they'll rest up and try for the next boss in an hour. Out of nowhere, a portal opens right in their faces and Pinky's group steps out, leaving Wang pissed, thinking they're here to steal another boss. The pink-haired girl and the blonde dude walk out of the portal. Getting the alert, the MC finds out that killing the boss earned him the right to enter the Tower of God plus a silver chest. Another message pops up saying he hit the top 100 on the server and gets a bonus chest. Facing both chests, he decides to pop them right away to see if he snags a rare item before climbing the tower. System reveals the first one dropped the rare one-step boots and some spare change, and the second gave EXP potions and more silver. Grinning from ear to ear, the MC celebrates bagging the boots and potions. The display shows the boots grant several buffs and feature a skill that boosts speed by 30%. He holds the boots thrilled, but remembers his level is still low and the Season 10 leaderboards must be open by now. On the scoreboard, he spots his name sitting at 98 and finds it weird to be ranked so low. He figures he clued everything super fast, but concludes that the pay-to-win players from other regions probably bought their way through first. System confirms he used the EXP potion, granting a 10% boost for an hour. The MC down the flask and thinks he really needs to rush and level up ASAP. Before a giant purple portal, he braces himself to see what the first floor challenge is. He steps through the gate and lands on a stone platform covered in ancient runes on the first floor. Scanning the darkness, the kid wonders if this dungeon is the infamous Shadow Labyrinth. The MC sizes up the challenge, knowing beginner dungeons vary a ton, but the Shadow Labyrinth is rated Nightmare for noobs, sitting at mid to high difficulty. Just then, the kid's foot steps on a floor tile, which lights up with a faint glow. He starts navigating the maze with a memorized pattern in his head. First forward, then right, and forward again. Running down the tight corridor, the MC notes the pattern is the same as always, thanking God he didn't forget the way out of this place. Suddenly, a creepy hand with huge claws bursts from the ground, almost catching him off guard. From a magic circle, a black beast with red eyes and a massive tongue lunges at the MC, who lets out a startled yell. The kid comes face to face with the ugly creature and wonders if that's a man-eating ghoul. System window pops up confirming it. It's a level 3 man-eating ghoul, normal type. Undead class with the sharp claws skill. Gripping his dagger, the MC enters combat mode, recalling that these mobs are agile and hit hard, so he absolutely can't let them surround him. The boots glow as he triggers the skill to slide super fast across the floor. Dodging the monster's strike, he lands a perfect counter. The screen flashes crit an instant kill, making the MC think they're a breeze one-on-one. Another ghoul tries to act smart jumping from above to catch him slipping, but the kid was already in his fighting stance. With a ninja reflex, the MC intercepts the beast midair, and the system calls another crit as the monster gets dusted. The notification pops up showing he gained 40 EXP and a +4 bonus. Bathed in light, the MC stands there receiving system congrats for hitting level 3 and scoring 2 free stat points. That satisfying little window pops up screaming, "Level up!" Checking his stats, now showing Subai at level 3 with everything updated, he realizes the king's EXP finally pushed him over the edge. The MC keeps moving through the maze, stepping past tiles glowing blue and red on the dark floor. Scanning the setup, he gets that the tiles lead to different paths. Red is hardcore mode and blue is a walk in the park. Without a second thought, he steps on the red, choosing violence because the kid knows tough missions mean fat loot. The boy walks down a long, gloomy hallway lit by torches toward a giant door with a red circle glowing under his feet. Over in the Yan Kingdom, at the Chu Dynasty Guild HQ, a woman tells the president that Mr. Jumsai is crushing it. The white-haired, goatee-rocking Zhou Wang, guild founder, counters that a good start guarantees nothing. The real winner is whoever crosses the finish line with the prize. Smiling and sucking up, the woman says the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. She adds that with the president's setups, the Rookie King title is in the bag for Mr. Jumsai. Zhou Wang looks kinda annoyed, thinking these people are way too naive. Facing the window, the president explains that the Rookie King is someone who grinds through blood and sweat, not a title for someone spoon-fed by their parents, and the woman quickly agrees. Shooting a serious stare, he drops that he hopes he won't be disappointed by the result. Back in the dungeon, the MC is in the thick of the chaos, dispatching 3 mobs at once with fatal crits that send them packing instantly. As the bodies hit the floor, EXP notifications rain on screen, 40 points plus a 4-point bonus for every beast killed. The window shows the kid's progress bar at level 3 sitting at 8,500 out of 10,000 EXP. He looks at his glowing blade, thinking it hasn't even been half an hour, and the loot inside the tower is already absurd. Seeing the monstrosity turn into light dust, he figures he finally cleared the whole room. All of a sudden, the floor turns into a glowing dance floor shining purple, yellow, and blue, leaving the MC totally surprised. A gray panel pops up and he realizes he found a secret room, thinking it's a massive find and that picking hard mode definitely paid off. Riding a light platform up like an elevator, the MC steps in curious to see what's hidden inside. Once he hits his destination, the kid's face shifts into pure shock. He He comes face to face with a massive horde of ghouls and wonders why there's so many of them again, counting over 50 beasts. Wasting no time, 3 ghouls lunge straight at him, primed for the attack. Surrounded by the nasty mob, the MC dashes and weaves through the strikes, moving with insane agility. The lore explains that half an hour later, the kid wiped the floor with the mobs. System sends its congrats announcing the MC hit level 4 and scored 2 more free stat points. Alone in the empty room, staring at a red puddle, he celebrates finally leveling up again. Another window pops up saying he cleared the secret room with an S rank, absolute perfection, earning a gold coin and 1,000 bonus EXP. Checking his level 4 stats, the MC laughs seeing the boosted numbers and decides it's time to face the big boss. He glances at the season leaderboard, sees Joe Jungsai in first place, but realizes nobody has taken down the boss yet. The MC's foot triggers a red magic circle on the floor which starts glowing bright. With the giant stone door opening, the kid walks into the darkness, leaving the mess behind, promising with a smirk that he's gonna update the boss record. Paused at the dark passage entrance, the MC grips his dagger, ready to face whatever is lurking inside. He steps into a colossal hall lined with dragon statues, the famous first floor boss room of the Tower of God. Sitting on a stone throne, there's a massive minotaur with flaming horns, but a bunch of ghouls come sprinting out to jump our guy. Dagger in hand, the kid yells at them to quit stalling and bring it on, because he doesn't have all day. In a split second, the MC becomes a blur and dodges the strikes from the swarming ghouls. Sliding across the floor, the boy ignores the trash mods and taunts the Minotaur, calling the big boss out to play. In a scary close-up, the Minotaur's red eyes flare up, showing he wasn't having any of that taunt. The Wendo drops his stats. Minotaur, Elite Boss Level 5, 55,000 HP and 3 skills, including Charge, Stomp, and Berserk mode. The MC smirks and remarks that the monster is still as cold and cocky as ever. Wasting no time, the kid leaps into the air with his blades, ready to launch his assault on the big boss. With surgical precision, he lands his dagger right on the Minotaur's horn. Finally standing out, the boss grabs a giant axe that starts crackling with energy. The Minotaur slams the ground with full force, sending a massive shockwave across the whole room. To make things worse, 2 gargoyle statues decide to wake up and join the brawl. The MC flashes an excited grin seeing the stakes rise, thinking things just got interesting. Using his crushing charge, the Minotaur rushes the kid, who's currently boxed in by the gargoyles. With crazy agility, the MC dodges the Minotaur's charge, blitzing past him like lightning. Exploiting the opening, he triggers the vacuum trail skill and lands a crit that shaves 150 HP off the boss. Things get tight again, with the MC pinned down by the Minotaur and 3 flying gargoyles. Even cornered, the boy doesn't lose his edge, and knows they don't stand a chance of taking him down. In a slick vertical panel, the MC spams vacuum trail to unleash rapid strikes on the gargoyles and the boss at the same time, lighting up the whole scene. Advancing fast, the Minotaur tries to land a heavy punch on the kid, who's already prepped for it. From a top-down view, the boss smashes his axe into the floor, creating a shock ring, while the MC jumps to clear the blast. The Minotaur roars, engulfed in flames, proving he's genuinely pissed. In a heavy attack, the boss leaps using heavy charge, coming down hard, and the MC wonders why he's already sweating so much. Staring down the strike, the boy calls the boss a dumb bull, telling him he's still a hothead just like always. With a quick move, the MC triggers the blink skill and spawns right next to the Minotaur's face, asking with a grin if he doesn't recognize an old friend. He grips his blade tight, saying he'll gladly jog the monster's memory. Landing a perfect shot, the MC hits a crit that chunks 1,000 HP from the boss. Even wounded, the Minotaur doesn't quit, and the boy finds himself swarmed again by 2 flying gargoyles. Taking advantage, the kid uses the trash mobs to farm some experience, gunning down the gargoyles and securing that EXP bonus. A notification congratulates the MC on hitting level 5 and snagging 2 free stat points. Wrapped in a golden aura, the MC celebrates finally leveling up. He checks his item screen, pops the boot skill, and figures he's just 1 step away. Yelling activate, the MC's boots start glowing, shooting out crackling blue energy. With his speed boosted, the kid moves like a blur, leaving trails of light as he dodges the Minotaur's strikes. Frustrated, the boss roars, completely unable to track the MC's speed. The Minotaur starts glowing with a red fury aura, and the boy notices the big guy popped his berserk mode way too early. Our MC says he'll have to play for real then, as the boss gets engulfed in blue and purple energy. The big bull starts looking all over for our guy. Popping up right behind him, the kid smirks and asks if the monster was looking for him. In a swift move, the Minotaur tries to strike, but a notification shows the berserk buff just ran out. Vaulting over the Minotaur's head, the MC announces he's right there. He unleashes a hail of rapid dagger strikes, tagging the boss multiple times in a row. Standing right in front of the bleeding Minotaur, whose health is draining, the MC says he's still as dumb as ever for wasting his fury so early, adding that now he's just meat on a chopping block. The kid declares it's game over and he's got no time to play with a stupid bull. With one final strike, he lands a crit that deletes 3000 HP from the Minotaur. Stunned by the head, the boss goes blank-eyed, drooling that red liquid. Dropping his axe, the Minotaur crashes down. A notification congratulates the player for beating the Minotaur boss, clearing the first floor, and scoring a ticket to floor 2. Then another prompt pops up congratulating a player named Lin for an S-rank first floor clear, a flawless run bagging 10,000 bonus EXP. And, to wrap it up, a final alert congratulates him for getting the first boss clear of Season 10, handing over a golden chest, an EXP orb, and 50 gold coins. A notification window pops up saying he finished in 58 minutes and 59 seconds, shattering the first floor record and bagging 50 gold coins plus 10,000 EXP. Smiling, the MC notes it wasn't too shabby. He remembers back in the day he'd speedrun it in half an hour, but right now the focus is hoarding resources and experience. Meanwhile, somewhere else, a massive explosion goes off showing things are really heating up over there. Holding the 10,000 Calamities Annihilation Cannon, this guy Joe Junkai praises his dad's weapon, but complains it costs an arm and a leg to fire, otherwise he'd be way faster. Rocking a maniac face, Junkai laughs and declares it's time to start the bombardment. Out of nowhere, an alert congratulates player Su Bai for breaking the record and clearing the first floor. Junkai is left in shock, refusing to believe someone actually pulled that off already. The season leaderboard pops up on screen, with Su Bai in first place, followed by Junkai and some girl named Lin Mengxuan. Furious, Junkai screams that time is impossible. He accuses the guy of hacking or cheating because there's zero logic to it. Back in the city, the crowd gossips about the wild news. A woman yells for everyone to look at how Su Bai's level spiked and took over the top spot. Right in the street, folks debate where this monster came from, reminding each other the last one like him was Li Jingxian a long time ago. They conclude the Rookie King title is already locked in. At the guild headquarters, President Zhou Wang demands to know who this mystery record breaker is. His assistant tries to smooth things over, mentioning his son, the young master, also did great. Yelling back, the president states a loss is a loss, period. Terrified, the assistant points out there are still 9 floors left for the kid to flip the script and aim for Rookie King. Wearing a scowl, the president orders an immediate background check on whoever just shattered the record. Seeing Su Bai's name, the pink-haired girl Lin texts him accusing him of stealing the boss and the record, but quickly invites the MC to work for her family. Standing near the portal, Lin admits to herself that, at the end of the day, they definitely underestimated the guy. Facing a golden treasure chest, the MC knows this is first clear loot. Chuckling, he demands a perfect grade piece of gear, otherwise it's an insult to his stats. Popping open with a blinding flash, the chest lights up the whole room in gold. Our boy is stunned, wondering if the chest actually dropped the perfect item he wanted. From the glow emerges a golden hoe with a black handle, leaving the MC completely clueless about this joke. The system drops a congrats for earning the perfect grade item, the golden hoe. Resting the hoe on his shoulder, he laughs, recalling this item is legendary and super handy in the late game. He also spots an EXP orb that'll help him level up. Wasting no time, the MC crushes the orb in his hand, unleashing that golden energy. System confirms he popped the beginner orb and pocketed 60,000 EXP. Another alert pops up saying he hit level 6 and scored 2 stat points to spend. Checking his boosted stats, the MC figures he leveled up right on schedule and decides it's time to tune up his gear. Without a second thought, he taps the upgrade button on the screen. The one-step boots got buffed, but it'll take 12 hours. The system offers to double the speed or charge a hefty fee to skip the wait. Pointing at the display, the MC picks the priciest option instantly since money is no object for him. Deducting the silver, the system finishes the upgrade instantly, spiking his stats. Hyped about the new numbers, the kid celebrates and decides to run it back to get even stronger. The screen flashes another success with fresh bonuses added to his boots. Another 6,400 silver goes down the drain to skip the timer again and secure that stat boost. Popping up, the status window shows Su Bai at level 6, loaded with HP, mana, and attack power to spare. Looking over his equipped gear, the MC chuckles, feeling like things are finally looking pristine just the way he likes it. He grips the black card that serves as his ticket to the next floor. Ticket in hand, the MC turns to the portal and announces it's time to climb. Strolling toward the purple gate, he sets a bold goal to clear the first 10 floors in 24 hours. Stepping through the rift, he drops into a massive wasteland called the Naka Desert. System confirms his entry into the Naka Desert and warns that current progress is at 0. A 1-minute countdown kicks off, telling him to gear up because the first monster wave is incoming. Blocking the sun with his hand, the MC complains that surviving 10 waves is way too slow and decides he needs to speed this up. While the MC is distracted, a beast bursts out of another portal, kicking up dust. It's a level 3 sawtoothed wizard, and the system reveals it packs bite and poison skills. Surrounded by the lizards, the MC groans that this sluggish pace is is ruining his record time. Blade drawn, he charges in, saying he'll have to take the initiative since they're moving like turtles. In a lightning-fast strike, the MC sends 3 lizards to the grave at once with brutal crits. Congratulating him on clearing the first wave, the system tells him to wait a minute. The MC thinks it's ridiculous having finished in under 2 minutes. Spotting the next batch on the horizon, he decides it's still not fast enough and he needs to hustle. The special effect of the one-step boots gets triggered by the system. With his speed turbocharged, the MC obliterates several lizards in a flash, determined to shatter all his past life records. 2 alerts pop up. The second wave is history, and the countdown for the third has begun. Another 2 messages confirm the third wave is done and the fourth is cooking. Clearing the fourth wave super fast, the timer starts ticking for the fifth. The fifth wave wraps up and the sixth wave countdown starts right after. Inside the boss room, the MC stares down a giant werewolf and asks if the doggy is gonna surrender already. He strikes the beast's chest with everything he's got, yelling, "Steel Slash," to send him packing. Standing with his foot on the defeated boss, he receives his congrats and the ticket to floor 3. Showing on the window, the Desert Fang, a level 6 elite boss, now has 0 HP. System drops an S rank for a flawless battle and hands over 11,000 bonus EHP as a gift. The MC gets crowned as the first to clear the second floor this season, scoring a golden chest and more gold. Another window displays the absurd time of 29 minutes and 42 seconds, shattering the historical record and yielding more loot. Out in the wasteland, the MC gazes at the glowing open golden chest, curious what treasure he'll bag this time. The system chimes in that he scored the bound purple gold armor, a perfect grade piece of gear. Detailing the armor, the screen shows heavy defense, high health, and an auto HP regen that is pure OP goodness. Giving him choices, the system offers to buff the bonus stats or uncap the gear's level completely. The MC decides to upgrade just once for now, figuring if the item level gets too high, he won't even be able to equip it. Costing 1 gold coin, the system confirms the armor is successfully +1. Whistling in awe at the new armor, the kid complains the little stunt cost way too much. Geared up and proud, he thinks this is what a perfect item looks like, laughing because the rest of his set looks dull next to this glow. Popping another EXP orb, he hits level 7 and gains more points, feeling like 50,000 EXP was a solid return. The status screen displays level 7 Subai with his top-tier items, and he decides he's ready for the third floor. Walking toward the dark portal, the kid cries over the 100 gold coins he blew and says he needs to get rich ASAP. Stepping out of the rift, he arrives at a place called the Silk Cave, which is the 3rd floor of the tower. In the pitch black, he comes face to face with a swarm of red-eyed bugs making creepy noises. Grinning with his dagger ready, he sprints at the monsters, calling them beauties. Cutting to the 1st floor, that other guy fires the giant cannon at a minotaur to test its firepower. The minotaur roars in agony, getting caught dead center by the explosion and smoke. Alerting the player, the system states the minotaur bit the dust and hands over the ticket to the 2nd floor. The window shows it took him 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 30 seconds to wrap it up. Sighing in relief, the adventurer mentions it was exhausting, and he got lucky the boss didn't go full berserk. He's taken aback seeing the glowing sword he just scored as a reward. Congratulating him, the system reveals he obtained the exquisite longsword, a rare weapon. Gripping the blade with a smirk, the warrior flexes, asking who else could pull a rare weapon from a silver chest. His joy dies fast when he reads the global announcement that Subai already cleared the 2nd floor, securing another W for the Yen Kingdom. Absolutely livid, he screams, asking how that's possible, yelling that 29 minutes is sheer madness. Falling to his knees, the guy admits he's still too weak and wonders who the hell this Subai kid is. Somewhere else, the MC vaults over a giant spider, ready to teach these mobs how to really level up. System broadcasts that Subai broke the 3rd floor record in 25 minutes and 45 seconds. Now on the 4th floor, the Crimson Flame Desert, the MC faces down several lizardmen primed for a brawl. Another record shattered. Subai cleared the 4th floor in 22 minutes and 23 seconds. Down on the 5th floor, the Misty Swamp, the kid beats the brakes off a giant monster crawling out of the water. And boom, another notification. 5th floor cleared in 19 minutes and 58 seconds. Back in town, the crowd goes wild over the news. Someone shouts, he cleared 3 floors in an hour, wondering if the guy is a genius or an actual god. Others debate if the floors are too easy or if Subai is packing an epic weapon, since even the guild leader's son took his sweet time. Cutting to a strategy group meeting, several warriors are chatting it up. A woman named Pei Lingshui remarks that this Subai character is a pretty interesting dude. Blonde guy Si Nantien replies it's more than that. He explains the kid has 0 background and was strictly mid in school. Suspecting he found something OP in the tower, Nantien shares his theory, but Pei counters that epic gear is ultra rare even for their elite. Another member accuses Si Nantian of already eyeing the kid's weapon, even though he rocks a cracked spear, while half the room doesn't even have a full set. Suddenly, a long-haired man steps in and tells them both to drop the drama. Right then, Captain Su Chang drops a bomb. If Subai doesn't show up with an S-rank crystal, they'll negotiate for his epic weapon by force. Continuing his speech, the captain adds that if the MC does have the item, he gets a VIP invite to the squad, but a more level-headed member says to chill, suggesting Rookie should start at the bottom like everyone else. But Su Chang isn't having it and shuts him down, saying if Subai becomes Rookie King, he's worth the investment, leaving the other guy totally speechless. Flashing that, "I run this town" look, Captain Su Chang declares the subject is closed, period. Turning to the blonde dude, Pei Ling Shui gives it to him straight. He better mind his own business and secure his second class fast, or he'll get benched to the reserves. Cut to the MC, who's in what looks like a massive dark aquarium, heading toward a glowing purple orb floating in the water. Sitting on the floor, he checks his stats and sees everything is at 80+8. He figures his luck is peaking, but upgrading gear is leaving his wallet emptier than a broke college kid's fridge. Glancing at his inventory, he spots the sad amount of 300 coins. Doing some quick math, he realizes it barely covers the next upgrades, and the panic sets in. Pointing at the screen, he calculates that clearing the 10th floor will net about 500 coins, and becoming Rookie King adds 200, which is still pocket change for his spending habits. Having a total meltdown, the kid pulls his hair, screaming into the void, asking where he's gonna get more cash, yelling that he's dead broke, but then lighting up with a genius idea. The MC remembers he's got contacts on his friends list. He pulls up a message from Lin Yu Chan, the rich girl, who's dying to team up, offering multi-million contracts, and even drops some apology cash for being annoying earlier. Our boy figures it's time to run some highly profitable business. In the chat, the convo flows. Subei asks if she wants transfer crystals and drops his price list, charging 1 coin for D rank and 5 for C rank. On the other end, Lin Yu Chan is mind-blown, thinking the prices are a total steal. Wasting no time, she says she'll buy out the whole stock. The MC mentions he's got 30 right now and will farm more, giving her a 6-day deadline to pool the cash, sealing the deal for when he leaves the tower. Staring at the screen with absolute confidence, the MC realizes having loaded friends is the most OP skill in existence. Finger hovering over the trade button, he confirms the deal and decides it's time to get back to the grind. Dashing toward a portal in a creepy forest, the MC yells for the 6th floor to get ready for him. The scene opens at the Wild Oasis, a place swarming with flying beasts that look like dragons, but are probably just stuck-up winged lizards. Standing by the water, the MC notes the difficulty spiked and the boss here is a pain because it never stays put, so finding the punk relies purely on luck. Pulling up the stats for his dragon crossbow +10. It's a rare item shooting triple bolts with a speed boost, perfect for anyone keeping their distance from danger. Holding the weapon, he feels like a tactical genius for packing a ranged option, until he realizes the tiny detail that he forgot to stock up on arrows. Seen from behind walking into the fog, the MC figures time is money, and he needs to conserve ammo so he doesn't end up empty-handed. Crossbow cocked, he pauses and lets out a sensing the chaos heading his way. Suddenly, he's surrounded by red-eyed Black Panthers popping up like they planned the gank in a group chat. 3 energy bolts materialize on the weapon. Flashing a slick smile, he says these beasts are gonna make great target practice. Ripping through the air, the bolts fly straight at a panther, which barely opens its mouth to roar before eating the damage. Moving with cat-like agility, the MC shoots in every direction while the panthers try and fail to turn him into a snack. In a dramatic close-up, his face shows pure focus, proving he ain't here to play games. Spraying energy bolts non-stop, he snipes the jumping panthers like he's starring in an action movie. Standing amidst the mess of defeated mobs, the MC lowers his weapon and remarks the performance was way better than expected. Crouching down, he figures he can recycle the arrows a couple of times and plans to sell the leftovers to Lin Yu Cham later. Down by the river, he gets ready and deduces the boss must be following the current north, playing the ultimate nature detective. Then, the kid just starts sprinting across the water like it's concrete, completely defying physics. With a half smirk, he thinks the sound of a waterfall is the ultimate clue he found the right spot. Gliding over the water, he smiles and says, "Found you," oozing confidence. Hitting the brakes on the shore, he spots a squad of fishmen armed with tridents. The camera zeroes in on the monsters, revealing a massive leader and 2 smaller ones, all looking like they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Checking the monster stat sheet, it's a level 9 amphibious fishman packing bite and harpoon toss skills. Nothing too fancy. Crossbow primed for the kill. The MC announces his shift just started. Swimming and fast, the fishmen get greeted by a hail of energy bolts from the MC, leaving absolutely absolutely nothing to chance. System chimes in that the mob drops some coins and a B-rank crystal. He rushes to grab it before it despawns. The display confirms it's a transfer crystal for the warrior class, which fetches a solid price. Holding the loot, the MC chuckles to himself, thinking the drop rate in this zone is an absolute dream. Snapping a pic for the chat, he texts the boss lady saying it's for a warrior and asks what she's paying. Reading the text, Lin Yu-chan realizes this kid is a literal farming machine. Trying to be fair, she offers 10 million or 100 gold coins. Being the hustler he is, the MC demands an extra 100 grand in cash to seal the deal, and she accepts instantly. Sprinting across the water while shooting, the MC thinks making bank like this is way too easy. Out of nowhere, he slams the brakes and spots a purple streak in the sky, wondering what on earth that is. Flashing a smile like he hit the jackpot, he recognizes the sound and knows the boss just spawned. Bursting out of the water with a growl, a giant blue demon fish wielding a golden trident appears, but the MC doesn't even blink. The screen IDs it as the Oasis Fish Demon, a level 10 elite boss, rocking 80,000 HP and heavy strikes. Looking totally bored, the MC clicks his tongue and remarks the thing is ugly as sin. Gliding over the water, he warns the boss he's gonna play around a bit before sending him to the grave. Letting 3 bolts fly, the kid watches the big fish charge with its trident, dying to crush the invader, straight into the beast's jagged maw. The arrows hit the target as it looked ready to eat them for a snack. Popping lightning step, the MC pulls a ninja leap, dodging the trident that blows up the water right where he just stood. While still airborne, he snipes the monster's forehead, and the system flashes 3 1000 damage crits, an absolute beauty. Pissed beyond belief, the boss hurls its golden trident at the MC with full force. Pulling off an acrobatic flip, the kid dodges the weapon cleanly. Aiming his weapon again, the MC thinks the monster is still as dumb as a rock. Zero evolution whatsoever. Rushing in, he yells for the beast to kick the bucket, charging up the final blow. Landing a dead center hit, the arrows trigger more massive crits while the monster shrieks in pain. Dropping dead into the water, the boss goes down while the MC just watches. Notifications blow up his screen. Boss defeated, 6th floor cleared, 7th floor pass secured, and an S-rank finish gifting him 5 silver chests. And it doesn't stop there. Bagging the season's first boss kill earns him a golden chest, gold coins, the Fishman Hunter title, and another broken speed record. Glancing at the screen, the MC laughs, admitting it took a minute, but the bonus chests totally make up for the delay. Staring down the 5 glowing silver chests, he expects some prime loot. The reward list pops up, packed with potions, coins, and some fish demon bracers. Complaining it's a weak haul for the effort, he decides the bracers will do the trick and opts to upgrade them on the spot. The system pings that 10 silver coins just vanished, making his wallet cry a little. Now the bracers are sitting at +8, packing solid defense and water resistance, locked and loaded. Strapping them on, the MC clicks his tongue and admits the stats aren't something to sneeze at. Standing squarely in front of the gate, he shouts, the 7th floor is his next stop. Fired up, he plans to sweep 10 floors in 20 hours to lock down that Rookie King title, no matter the cost. Then the system drops a bombshell that player Lin Mengxuan just snagged an S-rank Berserker class. The MC is shook, realizing the competition is getting fierce. Over in a guild hall, gossip spreads like wildfire that this Lin Mengxuan is engaged to the famous Immortal Sword Li, making her the top pick for the title. At another table, a girl argues there's no way she beats Subai, who's already on floor 7. But her buddy argues an S-rank class completely flips the script. Nodding along, the girl agrees her father-in-law probably hooked her up, pointing out some people just ride their daddy's OP weapons to the top. The scoreboard shows Suzy, our MC, chilling in first, followed by Lin and Zhou Junsai. In another corner, Zhou Junchai realizes he dropped to 3rd and loses it, asking where all these cracked players came from. Glaring at the portal, he vows to turn things around on the 5th floor. Arriving at the 7th floor, the MC steps into the Shadow Castle, a spot with gothic vibes and a super heavy atmosphere. Once inside, he leaves with a flying kick straight into a giant black armored skeleton. Smashing the beast's back, he's thankful he remembered the skeleton's spine is made of glass, scoring a free crit. The scene cuts to Lan Mengxuan on the 4th floor, bringing her sword down on a mob of lizards. Wiping out the whole pack, she screams. She's not losing to anyone, completely out for blood. Over on the 5th floor, Zhou Junshai finds a fragment and celebrates like a kid in a candy store, ready to swap his class. Locking in the SS rank Gunner class, he feels like the king of the world as the new notifications roll in. Meanwhile, the MC is already on floor 8, running and gunning down skeletons like it's a walk in the park. Waltzing do the mobs, he hands out stabs and arrows with surgical precision. Sporting a winner's smirk, he calculates there's only 2 floors left to wrap this up. Lin Mengxuan is brawling a giant monster on the 6th floor, complaining she's lagging behind night and swearing she'll catch up to first place. Hitting the 9th floor, the Nightmare City, the MC spots some freakish mobs and decides he needs to fly out of there because the place is just nasty. On floor 7, Lin Meng Xuan squares up with the skeleton boss and screams Su Bei's name, swearing she's gonna catch him. The final shot shows the MC stepping onto the 10th floor, heading straight for a colossal demon boss. Facing down Nightmare Hermors, the MC smiles and says it's time for this nightmare to become a dream come true and secure his title. Dagger drawn, he rushes in, telling the boss he's got zero time for small talk. Leaping straight through the boss's magic attacks, he yells that he's slicing this monster into pieces. Nightmare Hermors wraps himself in a dark aura, charging up a heavy strike. The monster roars about punishing anyone who messes with nightmares, but the MC is already at its feet, warning that Krusty move didn't work before and won't fly now, telling him to go to hell. With a rapid and deadly thrust, the kid pierces right through the boss's chest, leaving it in sheer disbelief, screaming that a nightmare is supposed to be unbeatable. The system drops that cheeky alert congratulating player Suzy for smashing the record and clearing floor 10, scoring another point for the Yan Kingdom. Popping up to rub it in everyone's face, another window reveals the total runtime was an insane 54 minutes and 23 seconds. And that's where it gets crazy. The loot rain keeps pouring, congratulating Su Bei as the first of the season to clear floor 10, handing him an SSS rank crystal and the Rookie King title. Gripping his prize, the MC reads off the ridiculous EXP and stat bus, laughing his head off because in his past life, he cleared almost 1,000 floors and never even sniffed this title. Standing before 5 golden chests, he decides to pop them all at once to see if his luck is still peaking. The first chest spits out the tiger sword, but he wrinkles his nose, finding the stats totally mid for his build. Next up is a lost treasure map, and now he's seeing the vision, thinking he can farm some absolute top-tier gear. Displaying an energy shield, the screen adds another rare item to his stash. From another chest pops the lightstone, and he cheers because that's gonna hide his gear's crazy glow and keep annoying stalkers away. Things get deadly serious when the fire dragon gauntlets drop, an authentic perfect grade item. Slipping the gauntlets on instantly, he thinks that, unlike the shield, these stats are borderline epic tier. The second he equips them, a blinding glow takes over, and he gets annoyed by how much attention it draws. Bringing up the status window, he checks his arsenal, featuring the new gauntlets and that OP clock of all things. Laughing to himself, he figures if he buffs these stats with the clock, every single punch is going to be an instant funeral for his enemies. Eyeing his inventory packed with silver chests, he decides to crack the rest open and flip everything for cold hard cash. System pings that he snagged some refined shorts of excellent quality. Then out pops a basic iron sword, the kind you can buy on any street corner. Another alert drops the moonlight earrings, one more excellent grade item. Dropping 20 small EXP potions and 5 gold coins, the system pads out his balance. Wrapping up the bundle, he scores the dark green boots, also sitting at excellent quality. Making sure everyone knows, the system broadcasts that Su Bei is the first to clear the 10th floor and is officially the Rookie King. A second announcement blares that he did it in just over 17 hours, destroying historical records and claiming the SSS rank crystal. Down in the beginner's city, the crowd is losing it, trying to wrap their heads around an SSS rank crystal, remembering the last guy to get one is the current world #1. The hype is so unreal that 2 dudes literally start thanking the heavens and praying like it's a miracle. Over in the meeting room, the strategy group stares at their screens looking like they just saw a ghost. Captain Su Chang completely flips out and orders Pei Ling Shu to stick to the kid the second he leaves the noob zone, forbidding any screw-ups in the recruitment. Blondie seeing Auntie and asks what they're actually bringing to the table, since talent like that costs serious spank. Sparing no breath, the captain yells to offer the absolute highest tier, leaving the girls shook thinking it's for the elite squad. Confirming it's for the main roster, he says spend whatever it takes because bagging an SSS rank guarantees nobody will ever mess with them again. Rocking a dead serious scowl, Su Shang sums up that losing a genius like this is entirely off the table. The squad members start dreaming big, claiming with this recruit, the only team they'd lose to is the rank 1 squad. Pei Ling Shu nods and promises to handle the mission, dying to shut up their arrogant rivals. At the tavern, everyone is chatting about how the MC pulled all that off without even changing his class, leaving the whole room floored. Out of nowhere, the door gets violently kicked open, jump-scaring all the local drunks. 2 guys jump up furious, drawing weapons and demanding to know who the punk is. Strutting and completely unbothered, the MC walks through carrying a massive sack. The regulars instantly start taking bets on how long he'll last before the bartender ends his whole career. Strutting over with her pirate vibe, the owner notes he was quick on the draw. Taking a seat at the bar, he orders a shooting star, catching her completely off guard since that's the secret house drink. A couple in the back is totally lost, shocked the owner didn't turn him into ground beef for kicking the door. She compliments his giant loot bag and he fires back saying her beastkin nose never misses. Smirking, she warns there's no discount, it's 1 gold coin, and once he finishes his drink, he's out. Chucking the drink, the MC scores bonus stats, while the owner grumbles he downed it like water and didn't even savor it. Stretching out, he acts all buddy-buddy and asks Sister Dana to set up a room because he's running on fumes. Someone announces that the famous Lin Yuchan just stepped into the building. Walking in with her guards, she looks relieved she made it before things went south. Approaching the MC, he just grunts and tells her to check the merchandise. Staring at the massive sack, the lady is completely blown away by the sheer volume. Up in the room, the guards are stunned, asking if it's a bottomless bag, and the MC confirms everything is on the table to trade. Ripping the bag open, a blinding golden light flashes the entire room. Hand resting on a mountain of crystals, he lists off dozens of stones ranging from F to B rank, and no one saw that coming. Holding up a red crystal, he flashes that slick grin and drops the bomb that there's an S rank mixed in. Almost having a heart attack, the guards scream in disbelief over how insanely rare it is. Handing the treasure over to Lin Yuchan, the MC tells her to name her price. The screen verifies it's an S-rank class change crystal for Magic Scholar. Shaking in her boots, she stutters that she absolutely can't accept something this valuable for free. The camera zeroes in on her hand, gently touching the crystal like it's made of glass. Regaining her composure and dead set on buying, she asks how much this beauty costs. Explaining the rest goes for market price. He demands 10% in cash, the rest in gold, and hands her a shopping list to sort out. Smiling in relief, Lin Yuchan says buying stuff is exactly her specialty. Handing the list to a guard, the boss lady immediately orders her lackey to sprint out and get it done. Flopping onto the couch, the kid lets out a massive sigh like a huge weight just lifted. Getting back to business, Lin Yuchan asks for the price tag on the S-rank crystal. Being straightforward, she holds up 2 fingers and offers a clean 200 million in cash. The MC almost falls out of his seat, wondering if that rock is actually worth that much bank. She explains the price is completely fair for the rarity, and even throws in a mansion in Lingfeng City as a sweet bonus. Murmuring to each other, the guards note regular folks don't even dream of stepping foot in that city. Thinking it over, the MC concludes the offer is paying out way above expectations. For a second, our little MC just sits there deep in thought, but snapping up fast, he locks in the deal and asks if he can get paid in 7 days. Agreeing instantly, she whips out the contract ready to sign. Leaning over, he signs the paperwork while she watches completely thrilled. Contract sealed, they shake hands with that classic corporate courtesy. Catching that she has something else to say, the MC gives her the floor. She brings up that the whole world knows about his SSS rank crystal and drops an invite to join the Lean family squad. Flashing a smile, he dodges the question saying he's not planning on changing his class right now. Totally confused, Lin Yuchan asks if he isn't terrified of getting robbed walking around holding that. Turning his back, he laughs and tells her to chill because he's got a plan and dips to the other room to crash. Walking past the crowd, the regulars gossip about the lady's kindness and heavily doubt this dude and new brags is the legendary Subai. The debate heats up, with one guy calling another an idiot for not realizing he's in disguise to keep a low profile. Owner Dana stares at the mess and decides the MC is ruining her business and needs a solid reality check. Up in the dark room, her shadow looms right over the MC who is trying to catch some Z's. Glaring at the freeloader, she confirms this is where he was hiding out. Having zero patience, she kicks the couch to wake Sleeping Beauty up. Rubbing the sleep out of his eyes, he asks how Nana got in there. Complaining about the lost profits, she tells him to fix the mess downstairs or things are gonna get ugly. Smirking slightly, he reveals a handful of gold coins. Tossing the cash her way, he asks if that covers the headache. Catching the money looking super happy, she says it more than covers it since she absolutely loves solving problems. He warns her not to kill anyone, and she claps back that she isn't some psycho. The MC grabs her attention again, stating he's got a business proposition. Piqued, she asks if it's another rare drink recipe. Whipping out a blue crystal that drops her jaw, the kid gets praised for his insane talent at finding top-tier loot. Holding the item, he drops the absolute bombshell that he wants to open the divine trial. Dana gets super curious, wondering where the hell he even heard about that. Cutting the chatter, he asks if he can just go in, thinking he's run this hundreds of times before, while she explains the reward is just a hidden class crystal. Gripping the crystal, the woman asks if he's absolutely sure, warning it's a one-time shot, and the item vanishes the second he commits. Staring dead ahead, the MC recalls failing this over 100 times in his past life, but swears he's not choking this time, and answers out loud that he's certain. Dana studies him for a second and, after a brief silence, tells him to set the trial up. She says, fine, if the kid wants to throw his life away, she won't stop him, but the MC tells her to relax, cause he's got a long life ahead and ain't planning on dying anytime soon. The camera focuses on the blue crystal, which suddenly starts cracking and shattering with a loud snap. Crushing the stone in her hand, Dana releases shards of energy and announces the real game is about to start. At that moment, the system pings that the divine trial has begun and asks if the player wants to enter, reminding him there's no turning back once he steps in. Standing right in front of the MC, Dana is centered in a magic circle that erupts on the floor, glowing bright and humming with energy. Turning around, she grabs the kid's arm and says if he's having second thoughts, there's still time. But acting all cocky, the MC asks, since when Nana became such a buzzkill? Pissed off, Diana yells, asking how he dares and tells him to get lost, kicking him straight into the portal with absolute pleasure while he screams in pain, getting sucked into the energy vortex. The MC complains she used that same cheap move again. Watching the kid vanish into the rift, Dana wonders what he meant by again and thinks that little punk brings a weirdly familiar vibe. The scenery shifts to a hellish landscape filled with rocks, lava, and a blood-red sky, where the MC is laid out on the ground groaning. Sitting up, he realizes he's finally back in the divine trial, totally recognizing that suffocating atmosphere. Checking the system screen, he confirms it's identical to his past life. The prompt states he entered the trial, his gear is locked, and buffs are wiped, but they'll return after the test. The MC starts walking down a narrow path right through the lava, passing a skull floating in the scorching heat. Stopping in his tracks, he sees a skeleton roasting in the magma river, guessing those are the remains of past adventurers who pushed their luck here. Looking dead serious, the kid thinks it's kinda ironic, but those failed adventurers are the exact reason he's standing there. Swiping on a floating screen, the MC checks his stat details. The stats show his weapon buffs are zeroed out and his inventory is sealed. He sighs, but realizes he lucked out and that golden hoe he grabbed earlier completely bypassed the system lock. So he whips out the hoe with the metallic clink, getting ready for whatever comes next. System sounds the alarm that a massive wave of demons is incoming and tells him to brace himself. The countdown starts at 59 and drops fast to 55. The camera zooms in on the MC's hand, gripping the tool's handle tight. At 54, he takes his stance and yells for them to bring it on, thinking he's way more OP'd than in his past life, and it'd be a total embarrassment to choke now. The timer flies from 5 to 2 in a flash, and energy portals rip open right in front of him, while he's already primed for a brawl. Hitting 1, the MC calculates the arena is tiny and he needs absolute focus. If he slips into the lava, it's game over. Creeping out of the portals, razor-sharp claws start appearing, announcing the mobs are here. The status window reveals it's a level 10 dungeon demon, packing 250 magic attack and annoying web and burrow skills. Multiple giant spiders crawl out of the rifts, and the MC, back turned, invites them to get wrecked. Flashing a determined glare, he realizes the bugs are multiplying fast and he can't just sit around. Dashing straight at the monsters, the MC is fully ready for the beatdown. Leaping up, he swings at a spider. The system calls a crit that wipes 500 HP. The camera highlights the MC's face, looking pretty let down by that weak damage output. Quick on the draw, he follows up with a heavier strike, thinking that first hit was absolute trash. But then a 2000 damage crit alert pops up, sending the beast to the grave in a single hit. Congratulating him, the system says he dispatched a demon and earned 1 point. Having dropped the first one, the MC lands just as another sneaks up behind him with pure malice. Dead serious, he thinks the system is being way too stingy with the points. Spinning fast, he pushes off the ground and launches at the next target. Popping a skill, the MC creates an energy web that locks the spider down. Following up, he unleashes a horizontal slash, cleaving the creature right in half. The system calls a crit over 2000, killing it instantly and adding 3 more points. The lore explains that Steel Slash is a way to channel sword chi, just like other techniques that massively buff your combat power. With a slight smirk, the MC figures that without these tricks, even with his veteran experience, he'd never clear this trial. Giving him zero room to breathe, more spiders push forward, making an absolute racket. Taking a deep breath, the MC braces himself for more chaos. Going all out, the system pings a crit that drops 3 at once. The counter goes up, hitting 10 points, and a tip reveals gathering 100 gives a chance to restore stats. Wearing a total psycho look, the MC screams he's gonna wipe every single one of them out. Cutting to the online forum, some nosy guy asks what's up with Subai and where his SS rank crystal is. Another claims he's just patient, while a third bets he's too scared to lose the item. The gossip keeps spreading, with someone dropping that Lin Wanjin is auctioning off top-tier beginner gear. The crowd connects the dots and assumes the MC sold everything, even the crystal. Back at the tavern, Dana is lecturing some players, warning if they go to floor 2 they'll get clapped. One guy argues Subai isn't there and his crystal is already dust. Totally shocked, a player demands proof, while his buddy insists it's impossible. Cracking her knuckles, Dana claims she crushed the crystal herself, offering to test her grip strength on their heads to prove it. Shifting to a strategy group room, a grumpy blonde guy is reviewing paperwork at the head of the table. And this is where it gets good. The long-haired guy bursts in, screaming things went south. He reports Dana said she shattered Subei's crystal, making the boss stand up in shock. The subordinates go into full panic mode. One argues if Dana said it, it's gospel, because NPCs don't lie, calling it a complete disaster. Over on the boards, a guy from the Tower Nation laughs, calling the Yan Kingdom a total joke for fumbling an SSS rank crystal so pathetically. Another troll from the Veggie Nation mocks them, saying the golden goose just flew away. In another corner, a blue-haired dude and a bald guy just watch the drama unfold. Some crazy dude from the Fey Nation claims the Yan Kingdom deserves nothing and the glory is all theirs. Then a Sakura Nation guy jumps in, calling everyone trash and heavily hyping up their own genius, Rainmori Hikaru. Back in the meeting room, the boss slams the table, absolutely furious, questioning if the kid really lost the item. A spiky-haired blonde kid, acting mad arrogant, says he warned them the boy was completely useless. Turning to Pei Lingshu, he taunts her, asking if she's crushing hard on Subai, but she tells him to shut his mouth, bellowing for them to stop fighting. The boss tells them to focus on the massive L. Spiky hair defends himself, saying he wasn't the one who broke the crystal. Frustrated, the leader tells him to forget about it and focus on snatching the kid once he leaves the beginner zone. Blondie doubts the MC can snag another crystal, but the boss points out the kid clearly has special techniques to have shattered that record. Pei Lingshui kisses up to the boss's brainpower, but completely out of patience, he orders her to leave. Spiky asks if they should threaten or bribe the kid, making the boss super indignant, ordering them not to push their luck. The blonde boss demands they extract his techniques at all costs for the good of the kingdom. Back in the hellhole, during stage 1, the MC is absolutely deleting the spiders with crits, screaming for them to taste his blade. Surrounded by corpses, the system congratulates him for clearing stage 1. He sighs in relief, totally drained after 10 hours. Standing on a floating platform, the kid thinks this was just the warm-up with 9 stages left. He calculates he needs a clean 1,000,000 kills to secure that SSS rank. Pacing around, he runs the numbers and sees he only has 11,034 kills, meaning he's got a mountain to climb. The system announces stage 2 is here and his stats are back. It also warns a swarm of stinger demons is approaching and starts the timer. Deciding to restore his stats and push forward, the MC realizes his rookie timer is running out fast. When the giant wasps show up, he knows their poison is annoying, but they're absolutely perfect for farming. Whipping out a fresh weapon from his inventory, the MC is ready, but he quickly yells, "Swap," and pulls out a whip crackling with energy. The screen reveals it's a spiked iron whip. Watching a wasp dive bomb, he's thankful he can hot swap weapons here, figuring basic gear beats fighting barehanded. Cracking the whip into the swarm, the system registers a crit, instantly deleting 20 mobs. Laughing out loud, the MC calls the whip a total beast. He knows the wasps are fast, but their defense is literally paper. Screaming sword she sweep, the kid clears the zone, slaughtering dozens of mobs as his kill count skyrockets. Skipping ahead 12 hours, the system tracks more kills, pushing his score up to 255,000. Standing amidst a mountain of monsters, the MC admits he's dead tired, but at least he wiped the area clean. Mumbling to swap weapons, he grabs a glowing spear. Climbing up some rocks, he figures a 250,000 kills wasn't a bad run at all. Chilling on the stairs, he decides to catch his breath and recharge. System alerts that stage 3 is starting with updated stats, warning about a wave of witch imps. Swapping to his bow, the MC figures for ranged mobs. This is the absolute best play. Swarming in, the ugly critters show up, making a massive racket. Bow in hand, the kid stares down the imps and announces the party has started. Pulling the string tight, he aims dead at the ugly mugs. Moving super fast, he weaves right through the enemy spells. One imp screeches as it takes an arrow straight to the eye. Feeling super cocky, the MC thinks nobody beats Subai in speed. The system rings up more kills. From a distance, we see him raining arrows from high up while the mobs squeal down below. Dodging the flashy attacks, the kid is thankful for his speed, but knows he's gonna have to hustle even harder. The scene abruptly cuts to the 10th floor of the Tower of Gods, where a woman takes down a giant boss in a massive explosion. System drops a congrats to player Lin Mengxuan for clearing the 10th floor on Nightmare mode. Surrounded by blue flames, this imposing redhead holds a sword that looks heavier than my conscience, surveying the area with that "I just crushed it" pose. Right then, the system drops drops her clear time on screen, 40 hours, 23 minutes, and 15 seconds, which is about how long it takes me to pick a Netflix movie. The redhead, named Lim Meng Xuan, realizes she placed second and figures she needs a little chat with this Subai guy who stole the spotlight. Meanwhile, in a packed city, the crowd stares at a giant screen announcing day 6 of the trial. The news says over 1 million players qualified, and the Yan Kingdom has 6 S rank and 2 SS rank rookies. Standing in the crowd, some guy complains the kingdom always starts strong and then chokes, but a pink-haired girl claps back saying it's better than last year. And of course, a curious glasses-wearing dude asks where on earth Subai vanished to. Inside a tavern, the scene shifts to the pink-haired girl housing a piece of cake, while this annoying blonde guy questions why she turned down the elite invite. He keeps pushing, saying she shouldn't blow a golden opportunity over this Subai guy and that the Lin family could level up, but she just wants to know if her order is ready, ignoring his garbage talk. Answering that everything is set, he drops that classic mystery villain line, saying he's got plans she wouldn't grasp even if he drew them out. At that moment, we see her hand pointing at the friends list where Subai's status says abnormal, while everyone else is chilling online. Pink Hair stares at the holographic screen, worried about his disappearance and the rumors that the MC's crystal shattered. Shifting the view to some cloudy mountains, a sign announces the Trial of the Gods Stage 7, because the MC's life is never a walk in the park. 2 red-eyed stone golems, looking like they woke up on the wrong side of the bed, trade punches, and one just completely cracks the other by pure brute force. Out of nowhere, the MC spawns pulling his bowstring and shouting, "Ice arrow, ready to cool these big guys down." Multiplying midair, the arrow hits the stone squad dead on, shattering everyone. Crit notifications pop on screen, confirming 1, 2, 5 kills in a single shot. He mocks the mob's defense while surrounded by ice shards, figuring the harder they are, the easier they shatter with his ice. Sprinting up a floating staircase, he realizes it must be day 6 by now and he needs to hustle harder than a student late for finals, because there are still 3 stages left. Sword in hand, the system chimes that he hit stage 8 and restored his stats, but immediately drops a warning that a toxic bug swarm is incoming, starting a tense countdown. Finding himself swarmed by giant grumpy beetles, the MC screams a challenge and, with one nasty crit, sends 29 of them to the grave all at once. 6 hours later, our guy is staring down a massive horned demon with a flaming sword and actually has the sheer audacity to call the big monster slow. In a flash, he tags several flying demons, making kill notifications rain down, yelling that he's sending everyone packing. The system pings that he just crossed 1 million trial points, but reminds him there's only 24 hours left on the clock, really turning up the heat on the kid. Lugging a giant sword on his back, the MC celebrates the 1,000,000-point milestone, figuring he only needs 1 boss left to platinum that brave achievement. He readies his blade as a sinister energy sphere forms right in front of him, shouting and calling the boss out to fight. A massive summoning circle with a red pentagram spawns on the floor, boxing the MC in with a seriously edgy vibe. Rising from the flames, a winged fire demon appears, ID'd by the system as a level 10 mythical boss, packing absurd stats and the Hellfire skill. Fearless as ever, the MC smirks right in the fire and claims this is the exact challenge he ordered from the monster delivery menu. The furious demon roars, dropping that cliché villain speech about destroying the insolent human. Blasting a colossal energy beam from its mouth, the beast forces the MC to pull an Olympic-level jump so he doesn't turn into barbecue. Safe on the ground, the kid checks out the destruction and remarks with a little smirk that the beast is stubborn, totally worthy of a demon-tier boss. But then reality hits, and he figures that with his trash defense, he won't even be able to tickle the big guy. The MC decides the best play is to wait for the perfect opening like a patient sniper, while the demon charges up another fireball. Blue energy wraps around his legs, triggering lightning steps, because right now, it's time to run faster than small-town gossip. Dodging the fire blasts, he thinks this is feeling way too much like a cat-and-mouse game, something he got completely sick of in his past life. He taps a gadget on his wrist and the system tags it as a grappling chain, basically the Manhwa version of Batman's grappling hook. The chain wraps around his body as he gears up, realizing the stakes are way higher this time around. Going full cheat mode, the demon summons flaming skeletons and the MC, perched on a rock, stares down with this "are you kidding me" look. A beam of light snipes one of the skeletons, snapping the poor guy's bones with a crispy crunch. Leaping toward a smaller version of the demon, the MC laughs and tells it to taste its own medicine. Beat to a pulp, the winged monster threatens to rip the kid's limbs off, but the MC fires back, swearing he'll avenge everyone this beast wiped out. ripping the sword hilt. The MC's hand channels a blue energy blade, fully prepped to slice and dice. Sword drawn, he rushes the demon, screaming for it to go visit the underworld a little early, slashing right across the monster's chest. The blade makes it roar in agony as it feels the sheer weight of the MC's strike. With a winner smile, the kid sprints, holding the flaming hook, yelling that it's showtime. He vaults right over the demon, drawing his bow mid-air totally Legolas style, and lines up the shot. 3 arrows land dead center in the monster's chest, making it roar from the nasty puncture. While the kid does parkour across the rocks, blue energy beams bombard the demon down below, giving it zero room to breathe. Piercing right through the beast's hand, an arrow makes it scream in pure agony, realizing today just ain't its day. Confidently smirking, the MC aims his bow and figures that once the defense shatters, even a god bleeds. Hovering among the boulders, the demon curses humans with every dirty word in its vocabulary. But the answer comes as a hail of flaming arrows, tagging the beast head-on and forcing it to backpedal. Clutching a fireball, the monster tries for one last counterattack, roaring in pure rage. It blasts 3 giant spheres that detonate mid-air against the MC's blue energy, putting on a total fireworks show. In the blink of an eye, the MC spawns right in the monster's face, ready to deliver the final blow. Dual-wielding curved blades, one blue and one red, he drops that mocking smirk and declares the party is over. Through a barrage of lightning-fast strikes, the MC slices the demon up, leaving it screaming as it gets turned into mincemeat. The monster's body dissolves into fiery feathers, leaving just one massive feather drifting down slowly, looking super poetic. Swinging between the rocks with his hook, the kid leaves the wrecked battlefield looking like a guy clocking out on a Friday. Exhausted and on his knees, the MC watches the system window, congratulate him for 1,082,000 points, announcing he unlocked the hidden class. Another notification pops up saying that by cashing in 1,000,000 points, he bagged the superclass title Champion. Jumping up hyped, the MC laughs out loud, figuring this title totally beats any SSS rank, and remembering this is exactly how he cleared the tower in his past life. He decides not to rush the class change and opts to test if the Golden Hole legend is actually real, asking for a little divine intervention. Standing at the cliff's edge, he tosses the golden hoe and a silver pickaxe into the abyss, praying the duping item isn't just false advertising. Parked at the ledge, the MC just stands there staring into the pit, waiting for a literal miracle to happen. Suddenly, the dread of throwing it all away hits him. He wonders, completely shook, if the items really just vanished. Checking his score, which hasn't budged, he wonders what kind of absolute scam this was. And that's where it gets crazy. 2 massive fire pillars erupt from the abyss with a huge roar, and the MC laughs in relief, seeing the legend was legit. Floating up from the flames, 2 crescent-shaped crystals emerge, one gold and one purple. The crystals fly right to the MC, parking on either side of him and radiating some absolutely cracked energy. Merging into a sphere of light right at his chest, the halves fuse and he absorbs the whole thing. With a scream of pain, the energy detonates into a blast of gold and purple light, creating an absolute festival of power. System drops a congrats to the player for bagging the dual professions of Champion and Demon King, literally the perfect combo. Wrapped in energy, the MC crouches as his entire body cracks, going through a glow-up that looks incredibly painful. His face twists, and one half turns into a furious red demonic mug, while the other side stays totally human. Standing on the cliff, watching a fire portal tear open, he admits that little stunt was pure torture. The stat window reveals he's now level 10, with a busted hybrid class, maxed out stats, and infinite mana, plus skills that wipe cooldowns and max out proficiency. Glancing at the gear screen, it shows perfect grade items, including his Supreme Clock and Dragon Gauntlets, the ultimate toolkit for someone about to break the game. He celebrates his new stats, hyped about being 5 times stronger with bottomless mana, laughing because now he's gonna steamroll everyone. In front of a bone pile, he vows to honor the will of the fallen warriors, acting all dramatic. Sporting a determined glare, he laughs, thinking that this time he's gonna try and body 2 gods with 1 stone. Pink-hair checks the friends list and almost falls out of her chair, seeing that Subai is finally back online. Back at the tavern, a tremor hits that nearly knocks everyone's drinks over. One guy asks what's going on and another points upstairs. Dana pops up at the door, peering inside. Glaring at the MC sprawled on the couch, she asks, completely shook, if he actually pulled it off. He calmly says yes, and she screams in disbelief. Dana gets lost in thought, questioning how polar opposite classes can even coexist. Chilling on his back, the MC praises her sharp perception. Stretching out, he says he needs to go get some fresh air and invites Dana, but she passes classes, saying the outside world just isn't her vibe. The MC says cool and promises to swing by if he misses the booze, but Dana tells him to hold up and grab his trial reward. Snagging a badge with a slashed eye on it, he praises her generosity. The system flags it as an item to hide stats and stay in stealth mode. Dana warns him not to drop dead too early, pointing out that plenty of folks despise the Demon King, and flexing his power will only end badly. Flashing a pixelated hand heart, the MC laughs and says he knew she had a soft spot for him. With zero patience for his flirting, Dana just kicks the MC and tells him to bounce. The shot pans over Border City from above, the hub where everyone grabs quests and preps to climb the tower. Right in the middle of town, our MC, Subai, looks around with his hands in his pockets, dropping that "I'm back in business" smirk. Turning around, he spots the pink-haired girl and the preppy blonde guy walking up, honestly surprised by how fast they tracked him. She says she's been waiting for him, calls him Brother Sue, and asks where he's been hiding this whole time. Inside a fancy Lin family office, she invites the MC to take a seat, and he realizes her family doesn't mess around when it comes to luxury. Getting comfortable, he compliments her speed. She asks him to count the cash, noting it's all there, minus what he spent on supplies. Flanked by 2 guards, the girl gives a little fake cough to clear her throat before getting down to serious business. She asks what his current class is, and the kid, being a total veteran, instantly gets suspicious of the question, quickly explaining she isn't just snooping. She says there are heavy rumors online that he lost his class crystal. The MC acts surprised, wondering how the hell they found out he lost it since he didn't even tweet about it. Spilling the tea, the girl says the word is that Dana herself shattered his crystal. The MC confirms it straight up, leaving her baffled at how he's so chill about taking an L like that. She lets her imagination run wild, assuming the MC's power is so cracked that an SSS rank crystal is just pocket change to him, concluding he must have a spare. So, the MC drops a comment, completely missing the drama, asking if losing that crystal is really the end of the world. Cutting the fluff, he tells her to spit out what she actually wants. The girl reveals she wanted to invite him to the Lin Guilds to farm some bosses together. The MC figures it actually makes sense, since leaving the beginner zone turns the Tower of Gods into an absolute nightmare of difficulty. Agreeing to lend a hand with the bosses, he makes it clear he isn't joining the guild and only guarantees a clear up to the 5th floor, demanding a squad of high DPS mages so no dead weight slows him down. The woman's jaw drops when he talks about breaking records, questioning how that's even possible since it usually takes a 20-man army to clear 1 floor. With his classic indifference, the MC says she can believe whatever she wants, but the record rewards aren't even all that, and he doesn't really care. Stumbling over her words, the girl says she was just surprised, quickly asking when they start and if they can use the guild's name for the squad. He replies that whatever works is fine and they can start tomorrow since he has errands today. The girl happily agrees as he turns his back and walks off. The jealous blonde kid steps up to the girl and starts spitting venom, calling the MC a total fraud and doubting he can pull off anything without the SS rank crystal. But the girl shuts him down fast, reminding him that back in the beginner zone, Subai could have folded 3 or 4 guys just like him, and if they'd fought, Blondie would already be 6 feet under. She then orders a masked guy to round up 4 B rank mages, announcing she'll fill the last slot herself. The lackey nods and goes to handle it. Blondie just stands there, totally salty and foaming at the mouth, praying the MC crashes and burns sooner rather than later. Cutting to the front of the Lord's mansion, a guard blocks the MC, yelling, asking if he's trying to get sent to the grave early. The MC asks what the problem is. The guard, named Wu Guai, warns that he must be a noob, and if he tries to walk in, he'll get turned into Swiss cheese by the other guards. Sporting a cheeky grin, the MC says he likes the guy's vibe and spills the secret to getting in. Only the strong are allowed through. Out of nowhere, a guard at the gate bows and invites the adventurer inside, dropping that the big boss is out in the training yard. Watching from a distance, Wu Guai's crew is left looking dumbfounded. One remarks the crazy kid actually got in, while another calls it pure insanity. The MC gets escorted by 3 heavily armed meatheads, crossing a massive dirt courtyard. Just then, the loud clang of metal echoes, signaling that a serious brawl is going down right ahead. The sound of weapons clashing keeps ringing out, proving this fight is definitely no joke. Parked at the bottom of the stairs, the MC just chills and watches the chaos unfolding up top. Playing the gossip as always, the system pops a window revealing one of the fighters is Captain Orlando Marin, a level 180 Earth Mage. Another window pops up snitching on the second guy, Lord Blake Ryan, a level 200 warrior, built like an absolute tank. Asking the honored adventurer to wait a sec, a guard steps back. The MC figures he hit the jackpot catching a story event, the perfect chance to snag some free skills since his roster is totally empty. Super hyped, he realizes the script is flipped this time. The system detects a C-rank sword technique and asks if he wants to learn it, making the MC realize this is a level 200 master's move. Right after, the system pings again with a D-rank earth spell, Stonewall, asking if he wants to bag that too. He recognizes Orlando's skill and thinks you can't beat free loot. System drops a congrats for learning Stonewall and immediately follows up offering a C-ranked piercing combo. Non-stop notifications keep blowing up his screen. D-rank, basic stone spike, and C-rank rising slash, all laid out on the menu for him to learn. Holding the holographic screen, the MC hits confirm on everything with a laugh like a guy who just hit the jackpot for free. 10 minutes later, the sparring ends, and the mages rush to heal the Lord. The MC thinks he almost took a nap waiting, but at least his skill loadout is stacked now. A guard lets Lord Blake know his guest is here. Blake turns around, genuinely surprised, wondering who this adventurer is. Staring down the MC, the Lord asks to see his ID with the utmost respect. The MC casually flashes his adventurer title. The Lord is completely shook, verifying a living legend is standing right in front of him. Instantly, Blake and the whole squad drop to their knees, greeting Adventurer Sama. The MC gets a bit awkward, says hi, and tells everyone to get up because the floor is freezing. Blake mentions he didn't expect to see an adventurer after a whole century. The MC questions this 100 years talk, remembering he heard the exact same speech in his past life. Launching into the lore, the Lord explains how every 100 years a hero appears to guide everyone to the light. The MC mentally rolls his eyes, wondering why every legend has to be so extra. He completely ignores the lecture and states he came looking for work. The Lord realizes the guy wants a quest, but is totally confused since he's only level 10. So the Lord offers a totally ridiculous quest, asking the great adventurer to find his lost dog for 10 gold coins. With a shadow covering his face, the MC asks if the Lord thinks he's some kind of beggar or a dog walker. Seeing the vibe get super tense, Orlando steps in claiming he's got better tasks paying out skill points. Blake realizes he massively fumbled with the dog thing. The MC accepts Orlando's quests, picking flowers, grabbing skeleton souls, and fetching a diary, all for solid payouts. He praises the mage's common sense, who thanks him looking super relieved. All of a sudden, the Lord mentions he remembered a quest that's way more up the MC's alley. Popping up is the Outskirts Disturbance quest, which nobody has cleared in 10 seasons. The MC recognizes the main quest and thinks about how everyone just focuses on climbing the tower while neglecting their basic growth. His eyes go wide, completely caught off guard by something new that just popped up. A notification glows on screen. Warrior's Guidance, a quest from Blake paying out a massive 50 skill points. Mentioning the rumors, the Lord says he heard anyone rocking the adventurer title is an absolute master in a brawl. Dead serious, Blake humbly asks if the MC wouldn't mind giving them a little combat lesson. The MC thinks to himself he really didn't want to fight a high-level NPC, but the payout is just too good. Blake says he'll seal his own level and asks the kid to go all out. Replying that they don't need to match him, the kid tells them to drop to level 30 and announces Orlando is joining the dance too. Both the Lord and the captain are left speechless, absolutely stunned by the MC's sheer audacity. Orlando asks if he's really gonna tank them both at once without packing many skills. Having zero patience, the MC tells them to cut the chatter and just bring it. Trading looks, the Lord and the captain accept the insane challenge. They step into the arena and politely ask to be handed an educational beatdown. While the MC strikes a combat pose, the guards gossip that this fight is going to be one for the history books. Flashing a confident smile, the MC gets ready and his adventurer title glows, adding some serious style points. Blake and Orlando unleash their auras. Orlando warns he's about to show him what real power looks like. Screaming to push forward, the Lord rushes in with a sword strike, totally hyped up. Blake throws out a fiery slash, but the MC triggers lightning steps and straight up vanishes from his line of sight. In the blink of an eye, the kid spawns right behind Blake, complimenting his reaction time while charging energy in his hand. Orlando pops Stone Spike, turning the floor into a deadly trap covered in jagged rocks. With that knowing smirk, the MC figures if he can't dodge it, he'll just have to get creative. Moving with absurd agility, he uses the spikes as stepping stones, running right over them as they crumble, looking straight out of an action movie. The crowd's jaws drop to the floor, whispering about how terrifyingly fast the guy is. Thoroughly impressed, Blake warns that things are about to get real and tells the MC to brace himself. Orlando casts Mud Swamp, turning the arena into a quicksand pool to lock the MC down. Seizing the opening, Blake goes all out with his flaming sword in a second stage attack. The MC dodges by bending backward full Matrix style and thinks, super annoyed, that they really need to use their brains more. Relentless as ever, Blake screams and charges at the grounded MC, ready for another round. Dodging the strike, the MC uses the Lord's blade as a springboard to launch himself and unleash an aerial combo. Blake gets salty and yells at him to stop running, charging up a tracking attack. Super fast, the MC appears behind Orlando and takes him hostage with a blade to his neck. Blake is left totally frozen. The crowd murmurs that the guy is an absolute monster, taking down the captain in barely half a minute, taunting Blake. The MC tells him to bring it. The Lord refuses to believe this is just level 10 strength. With his sword ablaze, Blake screams he's not backing down and preps his final move. He throws himself into a kamikaze attack, screaming charge, unleashing the 4th stage of his power. Lit up by fire and lightning, the MC's face breaks into a smirk, fully ready to return the favor. And no one saw that coming. Cloaked in electricity, he triggers a sword aura and blocks Blake's strike like it was absolutely nothing. Floored and defeated, Blake admits he took a massive L while the MC stands tall, looking like a total boss. Pointing his blade at the Lord, the MC coldly states he's way too weak to keep going. System confirms the quest is cleared and the MC scoops up the rewards, stuffing his inventory. Admitting he was ignorant to doubt the adventurer legend, Blake shakes his head. Orlando agrees, saying even at level 50 they wouldn't stand a chance. The MC says his goodbyes, praises their control, and promises a rematch later since he's got places to be. Walking away, he drops that classic one-liner saying he doesn't need any cheesy goodbyes. He vanishes in a single leap. Blake reflects on the destiny of the Dawn, leaving Orlando totally confused by all the poetry. The lore pans over Border City, explaining it's so massive most people just use teleporters to save their shoe leather. Deciding to learn his skills right away to avoid any hassle, the MC sees his leftover points and starts planning an infinite combo with his new kit. He unlocks the whole skill package. The kid figures that with bottomless mana, he's gonna turn into a literal spell machine gun and wipe out mobs in no time. The status screen shows he's a level 10 Demon King, packing absurd stats and infinite mana, plus the ability to learn anything instantly. The guy is essentially running cheat codes. Checking out his OP gear, he spots his divine clock, dragging gauntlets, and that cracked armor. He admires his spirit points, which let his skills level up on their own, and decides to hit the Spectre Badlands to test his new firepower. Arriving at the portal, he decides to head exactly where Orlando's quests pointed him. The guard charges 80 copper for the trip. The MC mentally complains that inflation even hit the game world. Bathed in the teleportation light, he figures he's gonna need sunglasses if he keeps traveling like this. Touching down in the Spectre Badlands, the place is ugly and barren. He notes the graphics are way too realistic, nothing like a regular video game. With a massive sword on his shoulder, he realizes he sold everything else and only has this giant blade left to defend himself. Shivering from the cold, the MC complains the game never had a temperature setting and instantly regrets not packing a jacket. At the sound of rattling bones, he turns around to see who's coming to crash the party. A horde of skeletons pops up, level 21, fully ready to become free XP for our guy. Staring at this mountain of bones, the kid figures they're just beefy warriors. Full of swagger, he calls them all out, dying to test his new toy. Our MC triggers Stone Spike, and out of nowhere, 3 massive rock spikes burst from the ground, aiming straight for the skeleton's jaws. Landing dead center, the spikes make the screen light up with that beautiful crit and triple instant kill warning. Pure class. The party keeps going with a hail of rocks, dropping one skeleton after another, while the kill feed just won't stop rolling. With his hand glowing, the MC flashes a massive grin, figuring that with 3200 magic attack, he's absolutely not playing around. Plus, he bags bonus EXP as a treat. Launching more rocks into the air, he laughs like a kid at an amusement park, thinking this is what a real farm looks like, none of that miserable noob grind. After sending everyone to the grave, the system announces he leveled up to 11 and pocketed 20 skill points. He's back in business. Staring at the screen, the MC recalls that in his past life, snacking 10 points was a luxury since F-class only got 1. He suspects having a dual class is doubling his payout. He checks his stats and gets a jump scare. Every level is handing out 50 points across the board, which is way more busted than any SS rank out there. At that moment, another batch of red-eyed skeletons comes charging in, practically begging to be turned into fertilizer. Wasting zero time, the kid unleashes a storm of spikes that fly like missiles, wiping the zone in the blink of an eye. He throws up a stone wall just in case and laughs, figuring that since he has no class limits, he needs to hunt down more quests that pay out skill points. A notification chimes that the quest to grab 1,000 skeleton flames is done, netting him 10 more points. He thinks it's a start, but he's still got a long way to go. Suddenly, a giant skeleton rocking attacking, a sinister aura spawns behind the smaller mobs, and the MC gets curious about who this big guy is. The screen drops the stats. It's the Fire Skull, a level 48 boss with 1,000 attack and 500,000 HP. This dude is tanky. Wearing that mischievous smirk, the MC gets ready, figuring the more enemies show up, the better the farm. He unleashes a massive wave of spikes that sweeps the field, handing out crits and sending dozens of skeletons packing. The rock shower doesn't stop, crushing the little guys and sending bones flying everywhere, with notifications flashing non-stop. Raising a flaming bone sword, the Fire Skull charges up a strike that promises some serious damage. The MC catches on to the move and laughs in the face of danger, thinking the monster is completely out of luck because his mana is infinite, baby. Sucking up the souls of the smaller skeletons, the boss leaves the MC shocked, seeing him use a sacrifice move to buff his damage. What a cheap trick. With a heavy aura, the Fire Skull glares at the MC, who mentally complains. What kind of psycho opens a fight by dropping their ultimate? The kid realizes that if the beast sacrifices everyone, he's gonna turn into barbecue, so he decides to switch up his strategy real quick. In a blur, the MC pops Rising Slash and launches himself into the air, aiming straight for the boss's chest, which practically looks like it's inviting him in for a hug. Smashing his foot into the ground, the boy shatters the floor and catches an absurd upward boost. With the Fire Skull suspended, the MC figures this is the exact moment to lock in that slick combo. He unleashes a barrage of multi-thrusts, raining down 5,000 damage crits right on the monster's chest, laughing because the fun is far from over. Pissed off, the giant tries to swat the MC, but he dodges easily, leaving the monster feeling like it's being clowned on. The boss goes for a direct hit, but the MC uses its shoulder as a springboard and precs another combo, saying that if it wants a beating, request granted. Keeping up the aerial combo, the MC thanks the heavens these skills have zero cooldown, so he can just spam them all day long. And this is where it gets good. With a brutal final blow, the MC lands a 20,000 damage crit, popping the boss's head like a watermelon. As the boss turns to dust, the MC lands with style and asks the remaining skeletons if they didn't train hard enough before becoming punching bags. Fire Skull's body disintegrates, leaving just a few pieces of flaming bone on the ground. Cleaning up the mess, the MC hits level 12 and gains 20 more points. Right then, he spots some glowing flowers and realizes it's another quest item. When he grabs the flower, he gets a solid surprise. The Bonefire Longsword and a D-class skill book, Necromancy, just dropped. The day is really paying off. System pings that he burned 10 points to learn D-class Necromancy. The description says at level 1, he can summon 3 level scaling soldiers, getting the MC super interested. Deciding to test drive his new toy, the kid gets ready to summon his minions right on the spot. 3 blue Aware skeletons pop up. The stat sheet says they copy the MC's attributes, meaning with his current stats, these guys hit as hard as level 40 mobs. Way too OP. Standing on a pile of skulls, the MC laughs, figuring they might be weak in a one-on-one, but for sweeping large battles, they're perfect. He yells that it's showtime. The system chimes that the 200 flower quest is cashed in, handing over 10 more points. While his minions put in the work, the MC celebrates that getting free loot is his absolute favorite hobby. Cutting to the Swamp of Death, a place that's painfully ugly and swarming with skeletal lizards, the kid watches everything from above. He stares at the lizards, clicks his tongue with a cheeky grin, and thinks he just found a brand new pet. With his skeletons on escort duty, the boy orders the squad to push forward and let loose on their new targets. The warriors surround a massive lizard, bringing their blades down on the beast while it squeals. Crouching on the ground wrapped entirely in a mystic aura, the MC runs the ritual to tame the beast. The window reveals it's a skeletal horned lizard, packing high defense and 6,000 HP. The kid is blown away by how incredibly tanky this thing is. Flashing an alert, the system says summoning the dead just leveled up to 2, catching the MC totally off guard. The kid hears some weird noises through the fog and gets curious to see what all the commotion is about. Looking completely unbothered, he decides to go snoop around and check out the action. The MC gets a jump scare bumping into a giant werewolf, wondering how many poor souls the beast had to eat to get that massive. Baring its rotten teeth, with eyes glowing red with rage, the creature lets out a roar that would make anyone's knees shake. The big monster stomps so hard the whole ground shakes, and the MC immediately goes on high alert for a brawl. While dodging a massive swipe, the MC thinks this has gotta be the work of some twisted sorcerer's ritual. Inside a magic circle, the kid preps a spell and announces he's gonna end the beast's misery real quick. The werewolf couldn't care less and brings its hand down to crush the MC, who holds his ground safely inside the magic barrier. Amidst the dust, the MC comments, genuinely surprised, that the beast actually hits pretty hard. Skipping the fluff, the kid draws his glowing sword, fully ready to return the favor. He screams like a madman, charging in and launching a brutal uppercut slash right into the monster's chin. The strike lands beautifully, and 2 notifications reveal the monster lost 3000 HP on every single hit. Even mid-air, the monster manages to grab the MC and calls him garbage. The absolute audacity. Despite being pinned, the MC unleashes a brutal attack and an absurd 100,000 damage crit pops on screen. I felt that one. The close-up on the beast's face shows the raw damage, and it eats another 10,000 crit just to learn its lesson. With that signature side smirk, the MC admires his handiwork, while another 8,000 damage ticks up on the counter. Standing over the giant corpse, the MC complains that for a beast this massive, it took way too long to go down. In his hand, he holds a glowing white flower, the legendary skull flower. System drops a congrats for the Mad Sorcerer's Diary Part 1 and tells him to grab the reward. He figures there's still more to do, but since he's in no rush, he heads to his meetup first. Over in Westrum City, the MC walks around hauling a sack, being eyed by 2 guys gossiping about his loot and why his face is totally hidden. The scene zeroes in on the MC's hand, passing the cash over to someone else. Standing at a stall, he grips the coin pouch, realizing he pulled an all-nighter hunting just to earn a measly 20 gold coins. Yeah, questing definitely pays way better. Near a forge, the MC grumbles that his forging level is an absolute embarrassment and wonders where he can find a decent blacksmith. A gang rolls up out of nowhere yelling for Subai to stop, demanding the SSS rank crystal he lost and trying to confirm if it's actually him. Hiding his face, the kid thinks only the Lin family should recognize him right now. Spotting the crowd, he decides it's time to bounce. Already out of the city, the MC glances back and calls the guys absolute ticks for following him all the way out there. One of the chasers yells for everyone to look at the Super Rookie of the Year, while another straight up asks if he's Subai. Wearing his mask, the MC spits pure sarcasm, asking if they're looking for Subai and what Mr. Su has to do with any of this. A goon gets totally confused, but the leader, already furious, screams that there's zero difference between those names. Flashing on screen, the leader's name is revealed, Jing Pengtian, level 49. The guy demands an explanation about the missing SSS rank crystal. Subai pulls down part of his mask and asks if the dude has sawdust for brains, saying that if he lost his own item, he doesn't owe anyone an explanation. Surrounded, the leader drops some twisted logic that everything in the beginner zone belongs to the kingdom. Completely out of patience, Subai tells them to just throw hands because he's in a rush. Jing Pengtian wants to see the MC squirm out of this one and starts barking squad orders, yelling to attack, flank, and heal, already drooling over the loot he's gonna snag. Charging in, the mob attacks, and while the MC runs dodging everything, he figures this is a solid time to stretch his legs. He dances through the fireballs and asks if they really think this pathetic little squad can handle him. Fast as lightning, the MC pierces one of the goons, and the crit and instant kill notification pops up immediately. Bye-bye, buddy. The leader and his lackeys are left in shock, clueless as to how he dropped a level 30 guy in one hit without even casting a spell. Screaming at his shield bearers, Jing Pengtian orders them to get up front and hold the line. With a psycho smirk, the MC summons dozens of stone spikes that just float all around him. The spikes smash into the shields with brutal force, shattering their defense and making the guys groan in pain. Watching from afar, spectators whisper that his record definitely wasn't luck and wonder if the kid is even human. Totally desperate, Jing Pengtian orders the mages and archers to unleash everything they've got to strike back. Right in the middle of the magic crossfire, the MC yells "Stonewall" and throws up the barrier to shield himself. Hidden behind the wall, the kid mocks them, saying he knows how to play this game too. Then he unleashes Fireball, Water Sphere, Ice Arrow, and Stone Spike, all at the exact same time. Jing Pengtian panics, watching his men drop like flies from all the crits. He thinks this is absolutely ridiculous and decides it's time to bail. Seeing the crew run for their lives, the MC lets out a chuckle and asks if they really think they're getting away that easy. The kid triggers Lightning Step, flying low at an absurd speed and leaving nothing but a glowing trail behind. Running for his life, Jing Pengtian eats an energy beam right to the back that sends him face-planting into the dirt. With his sword glued to the leader's neck, the MC, completely out of patience, demands to know who sent him. Begging on the ground, the guy swears it was his own stupidity and nobody sent him. He begs to walk away, but internally panics that if he snitches, his family is dead meat. He feels the blade on his throat and realizes if he talks, he dies, and if he stays quiet, he dies anyway. In pure desperation, he pushes the sword away and jumps up screaming that he'll fight to the bitter end. Framed in a slick silhouette, the MC playfully dodges and lands a strike on Jing Pengtian, who just lets out that final groan of defeat. While Jing Pengtian lies there hair sprawled out, a female figure steps up and drops that even if he keeps his mouth shut, she'll uncover everything eventually. It's Lin, escorted by some masked mages and dragging the tied-up blonde guy, walking up and calling for Brother Sue. The MC turns around, kinda surprised to hear someone calling him with so much familiarity. Apologizing for the mess, Pinkhair says she brought the traitor on a leash, leaving the MC free to decide whether to send the guy to the grave or punish him some other way. With a mischievous smirk, the MC asks why Blondie was so desperate to wipe him out. The traitor, all tied up and outraged, starts screaming, asking why only the MC gets the young miss's attention and claiming he can't stand his arrogant face. Not even caring, the MC points at the girl and says he's her problem now. She nods, thinking a traitor has to face the music according to clan laws. As the traitor screams in pain taking his punishment, the girl apologizes to Brother Sue again. The MC just tells them to get lost, figuring she's absolutely ruthless when it comes to discipline. Cutting to the portal for the Tower of Gods' 11th floor, the MC announces it's time to squad up, already knowing this floor is a nest of corrupted mobs. The MC scans the assembled team, 3 wind mages and 1 fire mage, all B rank and around level 20. Right then, the pink-haired girl asks him to check out their skills. Analyzing the spells, which feature Windblade and basic fireballs, the MC spots the Fire Demon summon and thinks this Lin Yu-chan really hit the jackpot with that S-rank skill. Lin Yu-chan drops the truth. They might be weak, but anyone who disobeys orders is out. The MC pretends to agree, just praying this so-called elite isn't a bunch of dead weight. While the group preps to enter, some gossiping bystanders whisper that the Lin Guild is crazy for entering the 11th floor with so few people. The MC couldn't care less and tells them to push forward. Out in a massive open field, Lin Yu-chan asks Brother Sue if he's absolutely sure they don't need to call in more backup. The MC explains that from this floor up, more people means more monster spawns, and asks if he skipped that class. He adds he could clear it way faster solo, but since it's for a record run, he'll take the company. Driving that annoying warning, the system says time is running out. With the countdown ticking, the MC gets into his battle stance and tells everyone to stay sharp. The timer hits 1 and a horde of level 13 monsters called Wolf Devourers spawns out of thin air right in front of them. Stepping up to the front, the MC announces he'll hold off the first waves. A magic circle glows as he readies his stone spikes. The wolves charge the group drooling but run headfirst into a hail of razor-sharp rocks the MC prepped with extreme care. Hitting dead center, the barrage makes the one-shot notifications start spamming the screen. The MC thinks to himself that dungeon mobs hand out some deliciously fat EXP. With another volley, he wipes the field and gets congrats from the system for hitting level 14, scoring more skill points. The screen flashes almost 30 critical kills at once. Lin Yu-chan and the mages are left jaw-dropped, and the pink-haired girl assumes the MC must have hacked the game because his spells have literally 0 cooldown. Staring at the mountain of bodies, Lin Yu-chan admits she's never seen a mage deal damage like that before. The MC, rocking the fakest humility ever, replies, "It's no big deal, you just need hands," leaving the girl completely speechless. Whispering to each other, 2 mages joke they found a literal smurf to hard carry the squad. Meanwhile, the MC and Lin Yu-chan push forward. The group arrives at the edge of a cliff, peering down at the treacherous path lying ahead. Out of nowhere, the MC gets boxed in by flaming stone spikes and instantly shifts into a combat stance alongside Lin Yu-chan. Lin Yu-chan wastes 0 time and charges in with her weapon glowing, while a monkey monster leaps around in the background, reaching the so-called Choo-Choo slope. The MC tells Lin Yu-chan to summon her little pet, the Fire Demon. The girl nods and starts chanting the spell, pooling some seriously sinister energy around her. With a battle cry, she brings the Fire Demon into the world, a beast made of absolute pure flames. The MC yells for everyone to stay on their toes, and Lin Yu-chan excitedly shouts back that she's ready to brawl. Spawning in, a fresh wave of level 14 skeleton mobs appears, and their leader orders a ruthless attack. The squad fires back hard. The MC launches spikes, a mage drops a sandstorm, and Lin Yu-chan throws up a firewall. Dashing like an absolute madman, the Fire Demon looks like a literal meteor tearing across the ground. The beast spits a massive fireball that detonates right in the middle of the skeletal crowd, turning them into bone barbecue. In a dramatic close-up, the Fire Demon pushes forward completely charged, ready to cause even more destruction. The MC watches and thinks the little pet is doing a solid job. The more it kills, the more it multiplies. Prepped to fight, the kid figures this skill is way too OP since the demon can literally spawn an entire army. And, just like that, everything changed. The fire demon splits, and now there are 3 identical copies ready to rain terror. Amidst the chaos, Lin Yu-chan warns that when it splits into 8, it only lasts 10 minutes but the cooldown takes half an hour. The MC, totally chill, says he already knew that. Worried, she asks what they'll do if the timer runs out, terrified of getting trampled by the skeletons. But the MC tells her to relax because he's got it all under control. One of the demons keeps burning bright, proving it still has plenty of gas in the tank. Suddenly, the flames surrounding the MC and Lin Yu-chan start to die out, a clear sign the fire party is wrapping up. Frantic, the girl screams they're screwed. The fire demon is turning into stone. With the summon going down the drain, the mages start getting boxed in by the relentlessly advancing mobs. Right as the thick of the mess, the MC flashes a confident smile and tells everyone not to freak out because he stepped up and is gonna handle it. Cloaked in a mysterious blue energy, the MC starts moving his hands, prepping the counterattack. On the ground, 2 glowing red eyes start taking shape, surrounded by that same sinister aura. The dark energy starts rising from the floor, like it's dragging souls right back into forced labor. Merging together, the energy rebuilds the fire demon, now rocking a total undead vibe. Lin Yu-chan is stunned, asking if that's a death summon. The zombie fire demon unleashes a blast of raw energy straight at the enemies. Rushing ahead, the creature steamrolls everything across the battlefield, leaving a massive trail of destruction. The MC watches it all with a side smirk, realizing how absolutely busted it is to mix the fire demon with his own magic. Completely dumbfounded, the 3 mages watch. One says she finally gets why the boss treats Subai so well, and another guesses the dude must be SS rank. Lin Yu-chan gets super hyped, thinking that in less than 2 hours they've already wrecked the place and the record is in the bag. Cutting to the Wang Guild Hall, some guy is furious, screaming that his subordinates are total trash for losing to a rookie and picking a fight with the Lion family. A white-haired woman walks up and tells Brother Zishi to chill, claiming that with the Li and Wang families teamed up, the Lin family is absolute garbage. She steps even closer and whispers this could be a golden opportunity, which definitely gets Zishi curious. Sitting on his lap acting super intimate, the woman lays out the plan, spread a rumor that the nation's sinner, Subai, lost the rare item because he schemed with the Lin family girl. Zishi lets out that classic villain laugh and says he wants to see the Lin family take a massive L. He calls the woman a master strategist and orders her to roll out the evil plan. Back in the tower at the Delta Snowfields, the MC warns that right past the cave they'll be staring down the big boss. The MC casts a wind spell to blow away some snow mobs, leaving Lin Yu-chan shocked to see he also completely masters the wind element. One of the mages asks if that was a literal tornado, and Lin Yu-chan, looking a bit awkward, admits it probably was. Displaying that their time is looking great, the system shows progress at 90%. The MC hypes the squad up, saying the record is theirs and tells them to quit slacking. Lin Yu-chan spots the mob cluster up ahead and asks what the game plan is. The MC tells her fire demon to tag along and orders the rest of the team to stand by. As the MC walks off, Lin Yu-chan asks if he's really gonna tank everything solo, reminding him he's a mage. He replies this is the final stretch, and they can just enjoy the VIP view. A mage asks if they shouldn't call him back, but Lin Yu-chan, totally serious now, says there's no need. With fire wings erupting from his back, the MC faces the challenge, and Lin Yu-chan realizes the kid has literally never failed once so far. The MC triggers Fist Aura, and his gloves start glowing. He figures the Dragon Gauntlet's passive adds a magic explosion, proving top-tier gear just hits different. While his fist catches fire, the system details the skill, which is strictly brawler stuff, not meant for a mage. Emerging from an explosion, the MC taunts the mobs, daring them to come taste his kung fu. Olaf tries to jump him, screaming, but gets swallowed by the flames in the blink of an eye. Totally floored, Lin Yu-chan watches his fire punch deal magic damage, and a mage wonders if he's also packing a brawler class. While landing a flaming haymaker on a giant bird, the MC internally celebrates that being multi-class is peak, literally doubling his combat power. Surrounded by a swarm of purple aura monsters, the MC figures killing them one by one will take forever, and he needs to rush straight for the boss. With a dramatic gesture, the MC summons his personal undead army, bringing some massive skeletons to the party. Smiling like a guaranteed winner, he announces the arrival of his personal guard. He hits the pose again for emphasis, declaring the skeleton squad has officially arrived. System pings that the summon skill just hit level 6 and now he's controlling 20 mobs. Backed by his army, the MC laughs, realizing this feeling of commanding a legion is exactly what he's always wanted. The mages are completely in awe. One praises Lord Subai. Another says this just turned into into a war movie, and Lin Yu-chan smiles, admitting he's hard carrying the whole squad solo. Stopping dead in his tracks, the MC senses the real problem is finally pulling up. A giant level 18 snow bear spawns, roaring and clearly looking for a fight. With an excited grin, the MC notes the big boss finally showed its face. Keeping the hype going, he repeats that the boss finally showed up to catch a beating. The bear charges in throwing a punch, and the MC preps his fist to return the favor. He barely dodges a massive club that shatters the ice, laughing and taunting the boss to swing like it means it. Weaving easily, the MC lands several fire punches and complains the beast is just way too slow. Furious, the bear starts spinning its club like a killer fan, trying to tag the MC by any means necessary. Standing next to his demons, the kid admits the beast hits hard and decides to wrap this up before he turns into a popsicle buried in the snow. The bear roars, hoisting the ice club high to squash the MC like an absolute bug. With absurd agility, the MC triggers lightning steps and dips out of there faster than you can blink. Then he claps back with Fire Fist, throwing a barrage of punches that each chunk for 10,000 crit damage. Exploiting his speed again, he spawns right behind the monster, leaving a light trail and landing yet another heavy strike. Fist still smoking, he drops that signature side smirk and announces the bear is done for. Blasting the bear, a rapid, scorching combo connects, and those crit damage numbers just keep climbing. The boss bear screams in agony, eating a massive crit straight to the face. With the big beast floored, the MC declares the job is done and is thankful he was fast, otherwise getting buried in snow would have been highly embarrassing. Watching from afar, Lin Yu-chan's squad is completely paralyzed. One mage asks if the boss is already dead, while another can only mutter, "What the hell was that?" At that moment, a system window pops right in Lin Yu-chan's face, congratulating her for clearing the 11th floor in 14 hours, 58 minutes, and 59 seconds. The poor girl can barely believe it and stutters that they actually pulled it off. The folks tagging along with Lin Yu-chan realize Subei barely broke a sweat carrying them. To them, what he just pulled was absolute madness. To rub it in the server's face, a global announcement flashes for everyone to see, congratulating Subei and the Lin Guild for shattering the 11th floor record of the Tower of God. The gossip spreads through Rim City faster than bad news. One guy asks, totally shook, if it's the same Subei, while another points out he botched his class change and can't fathom how he pulled off this magic trick. Two dudes are chatting with a big guy who looks like a tavern owner. One suspects Subei has some crazy secret, but the other bets the Lin family girl hard carried. The tavern owner, acting all high and mighty, claims she's just an S-rank fire mage and stands zero chance of breaking the Holy Paladin King's record. The rumor mill keeps churning. Someone explains the 11th floor mobs only go down to Holy Light classes, and another adds that not even the legendary Li Jianxian cleared that floor in under 20 hours. Cutting to the Yan Kingdom's war council, a long-haired blonde guy is ripping into a woman. Completely furious, he screams that he ordered them to find the record breaker and they can't even find their own noses. The blonde guy then demands results. The subordinate reports that, according to intel, Subei was spotted outside Rim City handing out beatdowns to a squad of level 30s, and since he traded an S-ranked item with Lin Yu-chan, he's definitely not your average player. Turning to the crew, the blonde boss declares Subei's threat level is SS rank. He orders them to find a way to contact him yesterday and, throwing red tape out the window, tells them to bump the kid's potential rating to SSS rank. Alone, the blonde guy pulls up Subei's profile, showing level 13 and an unknown class. He wonders who the hell this guy is and if he's running some kind of cheat, concluding that not even a relic could pull off a miracle like this. Out of nowhere, a subordinate bursts into the room looking like he just saw a ghost, screaming that things went south. Grabbing the clipboard and reading it, the blonde guy screams in shock that it's impossible, nearly falling out of his chair. On the tablet, another global announcement congratulates Subei and the Lin Guild for smashing the 12th floor record in a measly 3 hours, 2 minutes, and 29 seconds. The blonde leader loses it, completely baffled by how he was so fast. The story takes us to the 12th floor, the Shadow Abyss, where the boss is an aquatic beast named Gnarl, level 22. Back with the squad, the MC asks if they can handle the pace. Lin Yu-chan says his speed is unreal, and a mage suggests calling in backup as long as they're mages. Fired up, the MC says he's still got gas in the tank, and the mages agree. Someone points out having their name on a record is a lifelong honor, and another vows they'll fight till they drop dead. While the MC orders them to push to the 13th floor, Lin Yu-chan figures he must be an elite SSS rank monster, completely clueless as to how he soloed the bosses in under 10 minutes. Over at the weighing guild, Zishi is in full panic mode, screaming they're screwed, and the guy is an absolute monster. Another adds that every elite squad is killing themselves trying to recruit the rookie. Grabbing Yufan, Sashi claims she, the mastermind, set this whole thing up. She plays dumb, acting like she has no idea what he's talking about. Pissed beyond belief, Zishi questions her. With a coldness that could freeze hell, Yufan states their engagement was a joke and asks what world he's living in. Pointing his finger, Zishi reminds her the ambush was entirely her idea. Turning away, Yufan plays the victim again, leaving Zishi thinking she deserves an Oscar for that act. While Yufan dips out calling Zishi trash, he freezes, realizing he got played like an absolute fool. One of the lackeys stutters, completely speechless. The story skips to the 13th floor, the Field of Evil Echoes, where we see explosions and instant kill notifications spamming the screen. In the middle of the chaos, Lin Yu-chan and the mages are putting in work, with energy beams flying and mobs getting one-tapped left and right. The MC is holding a 1v2 against a pair of level 22 shrieking rabbits. He complains the beasts are annoying and the fight is dragging on way too long. Spotting some holes in the ground, the MC orders everyone to cover an entrance. The squad confirms they got the game plan. Reaching out, the kid casts a spell and hurls a massive fireball, shouting the attack name like he's the main character of an anime. 3 rabbits pop out of a hole, and the MC laughs, pointing out they only had 3 exits and wondering where they're gonna run now. Watching the explosion in the background, the MC figures wiping the whole nest at once beats the hassle of hunting them down one by one. Celebrating, the MC says that was super satisfying and tells the squad to gear up for the boss. Lin Yu-chan, sitting on the ground dead tired, wonders where he gets all this energy. They finally roll up to a creepy gate with a windmill and bats, signaling the real fight is about to kick off. Inside, Boss Winslayton, level 25, stands with his back to some terrified kids, while 2 demonic wolves growl ready to pounce. Waiting outside, the MC announces the boss is in there and tells everyone to hold up. Lin Yu-chan is totally swooning, thinking he looks incredibly stylish. With a solid kick, the kid busts the gate open and immediately tells Winslayton to get ready to meet his maker. Looking like a cheap vampire cosplayer, Winslayton gets furious about the break-in and declares their only destiny is the grave. Lin Yu-chan orders the squad to fall back. The boss starts throwing up hand signs and some weird music starts playing. The sound wave hits the crew outside and Lin Yu-chan screams in pain, complaining the noise is worse than terrible karaoke. Jumping right through the musical notes, the MC tells the old man that party trick won't work on him. Fast as lightning, the kid lands an upward energy strike, sending Winslayton flying across the room. Chilling by a campfire, the MC is sprawled on the ground, saying he's exhausted but happy. A mage comments that leveling up has never been this easy. Thinking he's totally wiped out, Lin Yu-chan offers him a chicken skewer. Subai says he's good because his physique is way better, and the girl thinks better is a massive understatement. Munching on the chicken, the kid pulls up the system screen to make sure his stats are all in order. The display shows the name Souza, level 15, rocking the Demon King and Hero classes. He notes the Hero class grants 30 balance points, while Demon King gives 20 purely focused on raw damage. He considers taking the Clock of All Things for a spin to buff his skills and hovers over upgrading the C rank Pierce. The system asks if he wants to bump it to B rank in 30 days or drop gold to speed it up. Seeing the prices of 2,500 or 10,000, he's shocked the thing actually works. Upgrade complete. A notification announces he bagged the B rank Ice Blade Spear while he points at the screen with the squad resting in the background. Now the screen offers an A rank upgrade taking 90 days or costing 25,000 to speed it up and 100 grand to skip the timer entirely. The MC is appalled by the price tag, calling it daylight robbery, but admits it's worth it since A rank skills don't just grow on trees. Scanning the list, he decides to pass for now. He realizes he only has 8,000 gold left and getting rich is going to be a serious grind. Sitting on a rock, eating and staring at the fire, Subai realizes he hasn't had a decent meal since he left a beginner zone. 2 mages eat and think that even as a triple S rank, the guy grinds like crazy. One recalls he basically lived on energy bars just to get this OP. The other mage reflects that if this monster farms dungeons like this, they have absolutely zero right to complain about being tired. Totally motivated, they jump up and yell that they're ready. The MC looks back completely confused, and Lin Yu-chan wonders if she missed some hot gossip. The kid hops off the rock and says if everyone's ready, let's roll. Back turned, the MC tells them to pack their gear so they can move out. Lin Yu-chan hits him with a super enthusiastic, got it. Flashing a little smile, Subei tells the squad to stick close to him on this floor so nobody gets lost. The team hits the 14th floor, the stone colossus, and instantly runs into a swarm of giant flaming beetles charging right at them. Amidst the chaos, the MC throws hands with the level 24 fire beetles, prepping his sword. Right after carnivorous vines burst from the ground, trapping everyone, the MC draws his bow to handle it, while Lin Yu-chan just watches. Stuck in a dead end, a mage asks if they took a wrong turn. The MC claims he'd never make a rookie mistake like that, and tells them to guard the entrance and summon the fire demon. While the MC walks up to the wall, a fire demon spawns behind him, and the rest of the squad just sits back to enjoy the VIP view. Suddenly, Lin Yu-chan looks totally spooked, and lets out a scream realizing something is wrong. Rising from the ground, two massive level 29 golem twins spawn. Smiling, the MC greets the beasts like they're old buddies. The kid summons an energy club covered in spikes and challenges them, wanting to see if their bones can handle the heat. In a tense close-up, the two golems, one looking like a monk and the other a demon, glare at the MC totally out for blood. With pure brute force, one of the golems stomps the ground, making everything shake. The stomp is so violent it completely cracks the floor, proving the beast isn't here to play games. Jumping with the club, the MC screams "Quick Strike" and goes all out against the giants. Landing hard, the kid unleashes an energy wave and calls the golems solid trash with absolute arrogance. The hit is so brutal that both golems get sent flying backward, completely bodied. We see the monk golem's face cracking, its red eyes glowing like headlights. The MC runs straight into a stone wall that spawned out of nowhere, blocking his path. Out of the corner of his eye, he wonders if the monsters are already pulling out their ultimate skills. Pushing forward at full speed, the kid leaves a trail of energy while the monk golem tries to block. Club ready, the MC mocks the golem's attempt to deflect the blow, calling it total amateur hour. With a single strike, he turns the wall into dust, proving that defense is literal paper to him. Through the dust cloud, two pairs of cross-shaped red eyes glow, looking for trouble. A massive red beam fires and the MC dodges at the absolute last millisecond. Watching the whole thing, Lin Yu-chan is terrified, realizing that kind of power is pure nightmare fuel. Rocking a cheeky smile, the MC steps up, club in hand, fully prepped for round 2. Throwing his whole weight into it, he leaps and brings the club down hard on the demon golem's head. The strike lands perfectly and the crit notification pops up exactly as the beast's face caves in. Standing right in front of the mobs, the kid decides to debut his new skill, and the air around them starts freezing. He activates Ice Blade, transforming the spear and pulling energy in his hand, ready to shatter everything. The energy detonates in a freezing blast that catches one golem dead on, turning it into absolute mincemeat. Pissed off, the monk golem fires back, shooting energy beams from its mouth and eyes. Pulling some ninja flips, the MC dodges the attacks that are blowing massive craters in the ground. An energy beam slices through the air and tags both golems at once, completely dismantling them. Standing amidst the rubble, the MC announces he's ending this clown show for good. Lin Yu-chan screams desperately for Brosu to watch out, warning the rocks will merge and the boss will respawn. With his confidence through the roof, the kid replies there's absolutely no way that's happening. Snapping his fingers, massive ice crystals burst from the ground, freezing every single piece of the golems. The mage's jaws drop. One calls him a next-level strategist, and Lin Yu-chan realizes he froze everything just to block the boss's respawn. System screens light up, dropping congrats for clearing the 14th floor and announcing the new record of 30-something hours to the whole world. Totally hyped, Lin Yu-chan says that was amazing and pushes the MC to keep going, because there's only one floor left. Back in Rim City, the crowd won't shut up about Subai, comparing him to the sword Immortal Lee and wondering if he can keep this insane pace. A scene zeroes in on a pair of black boots walking fast across a wooden deck. It's Zishi's crew from the Wang Guild, stomping around looking like they're out for blood. They stop dead in their tracks, shocked by the news. One notes Subai blitzed through 14 floors, and another doubts the guy is even human. The system window flashes, dropping a global announcement right in everyone's face. Amidst the crowd of players, the alert hits congratulating the Lin Guild and leader Souza for breaking the 15th floor record in 6 hours, 29 minutes, and 50 seconds, and of course, some random guy gets completely pissed yelling if it's yet another record. Zishi, from the rival Wang Guild, is left looking like a total fool, speechless and just muttering under his breath, completely shook by the news. Up on the 15th floor, with a giant teddy bear that just bit the dust lying in the background, the MC says his goodbyes to the squad, announcing his shift is over and he's bouncing. Lin Yu-chan tells Bro Su to hold up, and says the guild made a killing this time, so she's gonna ask her dad for some compensation. The kid, with his money radar pinging, immediately asks what kind of reward they're talking about. While the mages exit through the portal, Lin Yu-chan gives him that side-eye with a look that says she's ready to make a deal. She puts it on the table, whatever he wants, a shop or gold gold, clarifying that if he picks gold, it's 10 grand per floor. Subai, who isn't dumb by any means, picks the gold instantly, and Lin asks for 3 days to pool the cash. The MC thinks 50 grand is an insane amount of money, and these people are swimming in wealth. Flashing that slick merchant smirk, the MC says cool and tells him to hit him up if they want to break more records, throwing in a 20% discount as a bonus. Popping into a super cute chibi version with dollar signs in his eyes, the MC figures he'll agree to whatever she says as long as that bank account keeps getting fatter. Lin Yu-chan's eyes light up, and she asks if the 20% discount is for real, immediately checking if they can book runs for the first 30 floors at that buddy rate. The kid's brain completely blue screens, and he instantly regrets opening his mouth, calculating that 15 discounted floors means throwing 30,000 gold right in the trash. Rocking a smile faker than a $3 bill and sweating bullets, the MC hides his internal pain and says it's all good, no problem at all. Lin Yu-chan thinks this is absolutely perfect and that they'll have to mortgage their souls to pay for it, but 20 floors of records guarantees the guild's success. Then she drops that she has one condition: she only wants him. The girl catches the double meaning, turns red as a tomato, and completely freezes, wondering what on earth she just blurted out. Lin Yu-chan tries to backpedal, saying that came out weird, and Subai, completely clueless, explains she means just the two of them in the party, with no dead weight slowing down the farm. Relieved she didn't accidentally propose to the guy, she agrees and promises to cooperate. She admits to herself it's true, since on the last few floors they were just glorified cheerleaders while he hard-carried the squad. The MC seals the deal, saying it's locked in. Lin Yu-chan confirms the meetup for 3 days from now. Same bat time, same bat channel, before waving goodbye and dipping out. Back in Rim City, the MC checks his to-do list and spots quests dropping 20 and 10 skill points. He eyes the 30 total points, thinks the city's payouts are super generous, and decides to clear the entire map during his 3 days off. Standing right in front of the quest board, the kid decides he's gonna accept every single task available like there's no tomorrow. Quest paper in hand, he confirms with the receptionist that he took the job. Right in the middle of the town square, the MC puffs his chest out and confidently declares he's gonna wipe out everything in his path. Walking up to the teleporter, the guard asks for his destination. The kid shoots back that he's heading to the West Mountain Mine and skips the security check. The second he steps into the portal, a massive flash takes over the screen, swallowing his body in a blinding light. Arriving at the West Mountain Mine, the MC shields his eyes, realizing he forgot to blink, and complains the portal light is way too bright, swearing one day it's gonna make him go blind. Out of nowhere, the system throws a friend request in his face from some Pei-Ling Xiu. He frowns, wondering if it's that clingy girl again. Having zero patience, he rejects it instantly, and as he walks away, mentally questions why this woman is so annoying. The camera cuts to Pei-Ling Xue's house, where she's sitting on the couch absolutely losing her mind. The girl screams in outrage that she can't believe Subai rejected her 27 times, and says the kid has some serious audacity. When she tries to send the request again, she gets a massive no from the system saying she's been blocked. She smiles and vows she's gonna murder that bastard.